The following is a Rockingham Media sports presentation.
This is Countdown to Kickoff.
Green and key.
The Smoky Valley Vikings pregame show starts now. Coming up, keys to victory, a chat with the coach, and starting lineups. This is Smoky Valley Vikings football on 95.5 The Rock.
And welcome, Smoky Valley football fans. This is Don Binks along with Doug Snyder, Jason Snyder, as we're ready for the Vikings' second home game in a row. Nice to get off to a good start with the victory against the Haven Wildcats to even the record at 1-1, but it took 46 minutes and 46 seconds to get that score, Doug.
It did, but it was exciting, wasn't it? I mean, it was a really fun game. You know, you and I both commented on the fact that it seemed to escalate as the game continued. It just got a little bit more exciting. You knew something was about to happen, and that's quite bizarre considering it opened up with a wide open pass for Haven having a chance at a score, and they missed it. And then the Vikings keep them scoreless the rest of the game, even though they knocked on the door at least once. But it was a fun game to call. It just continued to build all throughout. We finally have a night here where the weather's a little bit cooler. It's been so warm this year, but having cooled down a little bit tonight, we do have a much windier night, so it's going to be an interesting night of Smoky Valley football.
And the good news is Trey Kennedy's active tonight. He must have got just a stinger, according to coach, so he's not going to have to sit out all the week, and that's always a plus to get have your guns pretty loaded to come to the game.
It is, and I talked to Trey a little bit later in the weekend, and he just said, you know, it was one of those hits that it scared him a little bit. You know, his body started to numb up a little bit, and I think, you know, any of us would be the same way. And it was good to see him bounce back up. We were able to see him out with the team a little bit, you know, at the end of the game and walking around. And so I was really hopeful that he was going to heal up over the weekend and into the week, and he has. And like you said, good to have the guns fully loaded tonight. We have a Nickerson team coming in that took us to the bitter end last year and almost was able to pull off the upset of Smoky at Nickerson. Now we get them at our place, and I think we've got a little something to prove again. Like we've always said, new team, new group of guys, but at the same time, they're trying to put their stamp on this program.
Yeah, they are, and they have lost a couple of games, but in their loss, they still had over 400 yards of total offense last week against Hoisington, so they did turn the ball over a few times, but it's they're a quality team, and we were able to watch them a little bit warming up. They got a lot of size. It looks like they got a lot of quickness, and it's going to be a tough game tonight.
Well, we know we're the type of squad this year that has to grind it out no matter what. It's going to have to be a group of guys that constantly controls tempo, controls the ball, and we know they've got some size. We're not sure necessarily how consistently they bring it each and every night, so it'll be interesting tonight to see what Nickerson brings.
We'll take our first time out. We come back. We'll start talking about some of our own statistics and some of the things that have gone well for the Vikings. You're listening to Smoky Valley Football, back right after this.
Vernon Jewelers in downtown Salina is the perfect place to get that one-of-a-kind item for yourself or that special someone. Vernon Jewelers, located at 123 North Santa Fe in downtown Salina, is a proud supporter of area athletics.
Give us a call at Hometown Outdoor Power in Salina, Minneapolis, and McPherson to get your mowers. Sign up for our winter service program. Don't forget to ask about the early sign-up promotion when you call.
Lowest rates, flexible plans, exceptional customer service, and coverage for everywhere you are. Say goodbye to being just a number. Say hello to something different at Next Tech Wireless. Farmers State Bank of Lindsborg, located at 447 Harrison Street, is proud to support the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes. Good luck, Vikings, and good luck, Swedes. Member FDIC.
Join the celebration at the Lindsborg Community Hospital on Sunday, September 29th from 2 till 4 p.m. We are celebrating our 75th anniversary and the completion of our patient-centered remodel. Get a sneak peek of the new 7 days a week urgent care clinic, opening October 1st. There will be tours, refreshments, and a brief dedication ceremony at 2:30. That's September 29th, Lindsborg Community Hospital, serving the people of the Smoky Valley for 75 years. We're here when you need us.
This is a Rockingham broadcast of the Smoky Valley Vikings.
to Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field here on the campus of Bethany College, where the Vikings play their home football games. And the Vikings, I guess we witnessed something that we'll never, ever see again, and we've never, ever seen before. Coach Lambert threw the football 4 times in a row after that penalty, that chop block penalty, made it first and goal from the 16. He threw it 4 times in a row, 12 times for the game. So a little through-the-air offense that he said he promised us at quarterback club that'll never happen again.
So you're saying Coach Lambert aired it out for a while, is what you're saying.
Aired it out a little bit.
Working with the middle school program, I always have Coach Lambert telling me that a lot of the things that I seem to have our kids do, especially at the 7th grade, doesn't match up with a lot of the things he's used to seeing. So, but yeah, it was one of those situations where we weren't moving the ball real well down there close to the goal, and the decision as we kept moving further back, we needed that. And by the way, what a great pass late in the game. Jake Lucas hits Andrew Peters right down the seam. Andrew goes down, makes a huge catch, and that really changed the game right there.
It was a big play, and we don't have a 100-yard rusher in a game yet. We've had a couple of 70, 80-yard rushers, but Trey Kennedy, Andrew Peters, Court Shugrins had a couple of 25, 30-yard games, so we're not getting quite the push off the line, and so they're having to do a little more with the air.
They are, and I think this is a team that we really have to work on both of those directions so well, being able to go inside, being able to go outside, but not only that, we're going to have to let, whether it's Andrew Peters under center or Jake under center, we're going to have to spread the ball a little bit and throw it a little bit to keep the other team honest so they're not continuing to hit those gaps. Although Coach Lambert has always been successful with what he does and continues to be successful as he picked up, as Jason pointed out last week, his 30th win as a Viking, and been successful here over the course of the last few years and got this group believing that they can succeed as well.
Absolutely. So they got their work cut out for them tonight with an athletic and good. It's a team that has 15 seniors. I counted 15 seniors and 10 juniors on this Nickerson team. So they're seasoned, and I think they know a little bit about what they're doing in their offense.
Yeah, I think they do. I think they like to get that ball run. They've got some big horses up front that they're going to try to challenge us, and I think it's going to be one of those nights where everybody's going to be trying to tire the other team out. I think it's a battle of attrition tonight. Whoever's going to be a little bit more physically fit, and also the team that makes fewer mistakes tonight, whether those are turnovers or penalties.
I had a chance to talk with Coach Lambert earlier this week. We'll have his interview plus a couple of commercials, and we'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Qualifications and rules apply. See institution for details.
Ask for Kasasa.
Warning. Free Kasasa checking may lead to a rise in disposable income due to cashback on everyday debit card purchases, refunds on ATM fees, and elimination of so-called service fees. Increased satisfaction may result while operating your debit card. If you suffer from chronic money loss, search for Kasasa online.
This has been a financial health advisory courtesy of Kasasa. It's like money medicine for your shopping habit.
Offered locally at the Bank of Tuscan. Member FDIC.
And welcome back to more Viking pregame. Don Bings along with Coach Tim Lambert as you get ready to take on the Nickerson Panthers, and got your second game in a row at home, so that's a good thing. But wow, last Friday night you basically waited till the last minute to get a score.
Yeah, we offensively it just we kept shooting ourselves in the foot with some turnovers, and then we had a crucial 15-yard penalty down on the goal line when we were about ready to punch it in, and so it made the game, real interesting towards the end. But I was proud of how our guys kept their poise, and I think they really believed they were going to win the game, and I think that's a lot of it is we believed that we were going to win, and we eventually got it done.
Looked like Jake Lucas kind of settled in at quarterback to play the last 3 quarters at quarterback, and on that last drive he came up with a crucial pass to Andrew Peters, and Andrew made a great catch on a long 23-yard pass.
Yeah, that was a big, I don't know what down, I can't remember what down it was, but that was a huge play in the game. We don't have any timeouts. The clock's running. And it was a big play for us. I think it was about midfield, and that got us down to about the, around the 20 and 25 or somewhere in there, and it was just a play that 2 kids made, and and there was really, really good pass pro on that play too. Our offensive line did a great job, whereas before we'd kind of broken down a couple times on our pass protection, which was part of the reason why you saw some bad passes early in the game, as we had somebody in our face. But that particular play, everybody did their job, and we made a play.
There's not any rumblings going on back in Smith Center or anywhere else you're from that you threw 4 passes in a row. That's kind of unheard in the Lambert family and Smith Center tradition up there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that would go over. Let's just kind of keep that under wraps and not tell anybody.
But you got the touchdown then. Andrew Peters got it in from the 9 yards out, and Cord added the extra point. But Haven wasn't going to give up. They made it a little exciting with the last minute.
Yeah, I can't remember how much time was left, but they didn't have any timeouts, or they had one, and when they took that, then time expired pretty quick after that. So I thought our kids handled that late game situation really well, and that's why we won the game.
Yeah, I complimented Brant Hebel on the tackle. He kept the guy in bounds on a late tackle to keep the clock running, and that was an amazing play. But it all worked out for a team victory, and you're happy to be 1-1.
Yeah, we're happy to get the win, and we sure have to still get better, and a lot of things we can still work on. So it's not like we don't have, we've been pretty busy in practice still, and trying to get some things worked out, and I think we've got a shot this week against Nickerson, and we just got to continue to get better.
They come in 0-2, but they've lost to Halstead and Hoisington. Those are good teams that we probably would have had trouble with as well, so they really are somebody you can't overlook.
No, you can't overlook them. They've got some good kids. Their defense is maybe better than their offense, which is where we're at right now. I think it could be a springboard into a better season. Whoever wins this game, and so I'm excited about the opportunity, and we'll just see how things play out.
As always, we have to have a couple of keys to victory. Are we going to pass more?
Well, we threw the ball 12 times last week. I think we're going to have to throw it, more than 2 or 3 like we've done in the past. And I would like to throw it, between 7 and 10 times a game, and because if you can hit some people with some play action pass when you want to throw it, not when you have to throw it. But there's times then when you're behind the sticks and you have to make a play to get a first down, and you have to throw the ball too. So we have to be able to do that a little bit, and maybe more so than we've had to do it in the past. We don't have probably the big type play capability in our running game that we've had in the past. Sure. So to get a big play, we're probably going to have to put the ball in the air, and we just have to know that about ourselves and try to catch the defense off guard.
Sounds like a plan, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Coach Lambert of the Vikings will be back with more pregame right after this.
Arn Reinert, CPA LLC, provides tax and accounting services in the Smoky Valley area and is a proud supporter of Smoky Valley High School and Bethany College activities. Located at 117 South Lincoln Street in Lindsborg. Arn Reinert, CPA LLC.
You're listening to Smoky Valley Vikings
Welcome back to
Athletics.
Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field. After a long interview with Coach Lambert and his outlook on the game, we got some keys to victory. Jason, what do you think we got it tonight?
The Anderson Body Shop Keys to Victory. Anderson Body Shop is the place for all of your auto collision needs. They're also your local Green Mountain Grill distributor, located at 214 South Cole here in Lindsborg. Defensively, I think it comes down to stopping the run. It looks like they like to run the ball about 75% of the time. Offensively, ball control and time of possession, and limit the big play. We did a great job of limiting the big play against Haven, but against Larned, we struggled with that. So I think limiting the big play will be big for us.
And we did a good job of time of possession in both of our games, so I hope we can keep that trend up. Going deep for the Nickerson Panthers looks like, well, they haven't turned around to the sideway. Number 10.
And number 4.
And number 4 back there. So that would be Isley and Salazar. And Doug Malm's son, Brandon Malm, will be doing the kicking for the Vikings. The Vikings will be kicking toward the north end, so they have the wind at their back in this first quarter. And sit back and enjoy Central Kansas League football, and the ball falls off the tee right away, so we're going to have another start. Again, thanking a few of our sponsors when we have a break here. Smoky Valley Booster Club, Bank of Tisket, Viking Auto, Christian's Funeral Home, People's Bank and Trust. Call Mari, call it sold. And Dr. Darrell Loader and Archer. Going to have somebody come up there and hold the ball. It's a high end over end kick. It is going to be taken at the 5-yard line. Up to 10, right up the numbers. Now cutting toward the middle. Now back out toward the outside. And got us some running room and out of bounds near the 40-yard line. So taking it for a nice run is Isley. And that gives Nickerson pretty good field position.
Yeah, it was a nice kick down there to the deep left corner, and he was able to take it to the middle. Looked like our edge kind of got bit in just a little bit on that play. Andrew Peters having to come from his inside position to make that tackle out at the 39. So good starting field position for Nickerson tonight.
They do a double wing, so they got a player right behind the outside player. They got a center, and here comes the fullback right up the middle, and he's going to get a couple yards on the play. That's their favorite formation. They split one receiver out far to one side or the other, and then have double wings and a fullback behind the quarterback who goes under center, which is Isley, or is it Garcia?
I didn't see who the quarterback was. I know that was Gomez down the run, number 15. He did a nice job. Garcia. Good-sized senior. Looks like Garcia is the quarterback in there as well.
We'll get our defensive set for you here after the next play. 2nd down and 7. Again, another run up the middle is going to be snuffed by the Vikings. Maybe a yard pickup on this play. And that front 4 for the Vikings of Tanner Luddick, Brandon Malm, Dax Hopp, and Grant Lysell Alcar doing a great job with linebacker Tanner Luddick and Raleigh Wilson and Haven Lysell Stewart coming in there, along with Brant Hebel, linebacker, and Court Sugarn, linebacker. The safeties are Kennedy and Peters. The corners are Brant Hebel and Brewster Bingson.
Yeah, nice job on that play. You had Malm and Haven Lysell Stewart in there on the tackle.
3rd and 6, long play, in motion man, and a little fake up the middle. And great play by Haven Lysell Stewart. He comes in there and wraps him up. We're lost on the play of a couple yards. It's going to be 3rd and 8, and the Vikings got exactly what they needed, a 3 and out.
Yeah, a little counter out of that look that they like to run there, make everything look like it's going to the right. Even had the momentum going to the right, and then swing it to the counter there with number 10. That was Bryce Isley that time, and he had nowhere to go as Haven jumps out there and makes a big tackle on the right edge.
Salazar is the punter. So he is back inside the 30-yard line. Andrew Peters is at the other 30 for the Vikings. High kick, not going to go very far. Everybody needs to get out of the way so it doesn't hit somebody. And it does hit one of the Vikings. The ball's loose. That's what happens on those low kicks, but I think we've got it surrounded. And, yes, there is a signal the Vikings have it. I think it hit Brant Hebel, and he went and picked it up. So that's what that wind does. It just floats it up in the air, and it just can come down anywhere.
Yeah, really hard to see, and Brant was one of the edge guys there trying to make it back, and that ball hit the ground, headed straight back at him. Luckily, he was thinking well enough as soon as it hit him. He got his hands on it, was able to fall to the ground and cover it, and the Vikings will start their first possession from the 35-yard line.
35. Looks like it's going to be very close to the first down. It'll depend on the spot. If they put it on the line, it will be a first down. They're going to put it just short, so it's going to be 4th down. That was not a good spot by the line judge on this side. It is 4th and inches for the Vikings. So Smoky Valley in a big 4th down area right here. What will they power with to do? They'll go wishbone formation this time with Shugren and Kennedy behind Raleigh Wilson. Double tight end. Lucas may sneak it himself. He's going to take it over to big gain there by Trey Kennedy. So Vikings going for it on 4th down and getting it. And they set themselves up with the first down nearing midfield.
Yeah, nice play. We get out of that wishbone or that 3-back formation. Coach Lambert really enjoys that because there's so many options of where you're going to go. You can run a lead. You can run a pitch. You can hit the quick run. That time he gives a little quick look to Kennedy right up the gut, and he's able to pick up the first down.
There's a big man over there on the other side, number 60. Hard to get him out of there. Brandon Malm matched up with him, but They did a good job, the front 5 for the Vikings. 1st and 10, I formation. Brant Hebel, the power wing, to the near side. Here comes Kennedy running up the middle, and he'll get just about to midfield. He's going to be stopped about a half yard short of midfield. Gain of 2 on the play, 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, hitting that left side hard. Kennedy getting through there. Brandon Malm a little slow to get up. It looked like he might have been rolled up on in there just a little bit when the play was coming back from the back side, at least the defensive play. They were able to roll up on him. Looks like he's going to come out.
Good misdirection cut there by Kennedy.
Yeah, we always talk about players planting. Get that plant foot and explode out, and he did. The edge was taken up. He planted his foot and got back to the inside.
So 3rd down and 2 for the Vikings, who, unlike Nickerson, got their first down, albeit on 4th down. The other 2 linemen on the other side are Skylar Hopkins and number 72, Tevin Duncan. Turn and hand it off to Kennedy or Shugren, and he's going to be about a yard short, so the Vikings are going to have to go for it again on 4th down. It's going to be 4th and 1. Shugren gets across the 44 down to the 44. And that's where they'll be set up for another big 4th down play.
Story of Smoky Valley football again this year. Just grind it out. Here we go. We get a stop on the first possession. We get the ball, and we're just, I believe the phrase was matriculating down the field is what you like to call it.
Wishbone formation again on 4th down. Long play count by the Vikings. And there goes Court Shugren down across the 40. Boy, he barely got that handoff to Shugren. He was reaching and stuffing that ball in his arms as he went by.
Yeah, everything in this offense is predicated on timing, and it was really close that time. We'd had the beautiful fake up the gut right there, and then we want to hit the outside guy hitting about the 3 or 4 hole there on that side, and he's able to get it right in his belly. And I tell you, Shugren hit the hole hard. It was a beautiful run on his behalf.
Yeah, pickup of about 7 yards.
About 5.
5 yards. Back to I formation with Peters, the wide receiver on the far side. Hebel, the slant on the near side. Turn and hand it off. Now they're going to say a motion in the backfield, I believe. They stopped the play, so back the Vikings up. First penalty of the ball game goes on Smoky Valley. So 1st and 15 now for the Vikings. They have the win, so you might think they might think about throwing it. And Coach Lambert in his pregame comments said, we'd like to throw it when they're not expecting it, instead of when we have to throw it.
Yeah, and I think that helps out anytime your team is still kind of trying to figure out, where your strengths are and what things you're going to be best at. And I think, when we can give Jake the opportunity to throw the ball after we've done a few runs, after we've opened things up, that gives a really good opportunity.
See what they decide to do now with the longer.
They actually marked the ball back to the 46 instead of the 44.
There they go. Way to be observant, Jason. Thank you.
The old 7-yard offside penalty.
Wishbone formation this time for the Vikings. Toss to Peters trying to get the outside corner. He's going to have a little slant to catch up there. He's going to get most of the penalty yards back inside the 40. It'll be 2nd and 10 for Smoky Valley, 2nd and 11. It looks like where they'll spot it.
Really impressed so far with Tanner Smith for Nickerson. He does a nice job really flowing with the ball. He was in on that tackle again. He's been on a number of tackles so far in this first drive from his linebacker position. Moves very well. Andrew able to get back those most of those 5 yards, like you pointed out, from the penalty. So the Vikings are back in 2nd and about 11.
Hebel wide to the near side. Peters wide to the far side. I formation behind Jake Lucas. 2nd down and a long 10. Wally Wilson, the first man up, and boy, he ain't going anywhere. There's the guy you talked about, Tanner Smith, among others, number 54 as well on that line, and they're a stout defense.
Yeah, they seem to really stand us up there a little bit at the line, which is why it's going to be so important for us to continue to move the placement around, what hole we're going to go through, and whether or not we're going to roll or toss. We've been pretty successful when we get some tosses going after hitting the middle a few times. That's what Andrew picked up the 5 yards on, but now we've got a 3rd and kind of out there, you got to be thinking it's 4-down territory here, so you want to pick up about half.
Bengtson wide to the far side, I formation behind Lucas. He's going to roll out, try to pass, try to look downfield, go on in, intercepted by Isley, and he's tackled at the 30-yard line. Bengtson went out. Lucas thought he was going to come in, and boy, Isley just sat there and picked that one off.
Yeah, it looked like he had time in the backfield that time to make the pass. We had Brewster going up the outside. I couldn't tell who was there on the cross, but we kind of threw it between the two. I think it might have been Haven. And he ends up throwing it, and it kind of went a little bit behind Haven, headed more toward Brewster, but not quite far enough. And the interception made down there at the 22-yard line by number 4, that was Salazar, and he takes it back, a tackle on the play by Lysell.
Double flanker again for them. The quarterback's going to keep the ball this time. He's got some running room, and he's out across the 40 near the first down marker. Looks like it will be just short of the first down. I'm going to take a little bit longer look at it. They may even have to measure. Pretty generous spot by the linesman on this side this time. It looks like they have to get to the line, and they're going to say it's second down. So it is second and short for the Nickerson Panthers. A pickup of 9.5 yards on that first down. Salazar is the wide receiver to the far side. Garcia is the quarterback for this Haven Wildcat team. Toss to get outside, way outside, trying to get Isley out there, and he's got some running room. He got out, crossed midfield, and driven out of bounds about the 45-yard line. So pickup of nearly 15 yards on that play by number 10, Isley, and he just simply followed his whole team to the left side.
Yeah, Isley pretty quick on that edge for the Nickerson Panthers, and he's able to get out there and get around the contain and get up the field for a nice gain before he was knocked out of bounds by Raleigh Wilson and Trey Kennedy.
The double wing formation again, man in motion to the near side, toss to the near side. Now they're going to stop the play, got somebody in motion, and they'll back them up 5 yards.
Number of early penalties here tonight. You know, the Vikings had one in their possession, a couple of Nickerson penalties here as well. So not quite as clean of a game as we're used to seeing here. But both teams, again, really trying to feel each other out, get an idea of what their strengths are and what their weaknesses are, and continue to battle. So the Vikings have done a nice job really stymieing the inside play until the play a couple of plays ago where Garcia was able to sneak up the middle, and then that last one they got around the edge. So they're mixing it up. It's very similar to what we're trying to do to them.
And they throw the ball a little more than we do, so don't be surprised with the pass, but they are facing a little bit of wind, not a strong wind tonight. Double flanker, wide receiver to the far side. Quarterback's going to keep it himself, trying to get outside, and he's going to get wrapped up for no gain on the play. Great job by Raleigh Wilson, Shugren, and getting up off the bottom of the pile, Dax Hop. Great team tackle.
Yeah, those guys do such a great job, and they did. They strung that play out. He looked like he was trying to take it the closest gap to the center, had to bounce it just a little bit. Next time when he bounced it, there was Shugren who filled up, and then Hop and Wilson are able to finish that play off.
Doing a nice job there for Smoky Valley. Second down and 15, dropping back to pass, and under pressure, gets away from the pressure, and now he's going to get tackled and driven out of bounds. He's going to get about 3, maybe 4 yards on the play, but finishing him off is Brewster Binks, and Raleigh Wilson also in on the tackle along with Skylar Hopkins.
That was a quick play. It looked like Dax Hop was back in there very quickly and caused Garcia to have to roll out a little quicker than he wanted to, and then he had nice chase. I think Raleigh Wilson was able to push him before the play was wrapped up by Brewster Bankston here on the Smoky Valley side of the field, and that sets up a 3rd and long here for Nickerson.
Got a wide receiver who's lined up off sides. If he doesn't move, number 45, he's normally a fullback, but he was completely in the neutral zone, and he didn't even look at the official to make sure he was okay.
Needless to say, he was off to a bit of a head start there. He was ready to go.
He was a full half a yard.
He was.
It was crazy. So
we have a great view of that. I think that's right on your yard line right there.
Yeah, just about. So if he's not going to move, which you can move when you're set, it's surprising he didn't go over and look. No score, 2:24 left to go in a quick first quarter. Nickerson faced with a 3rd down now and 16 or so on. They're just now across their side of midfield, so they got to get down to the 35-yard line. Double flanker, same formation. One receiver to the far side. Now one of the Vikings jump, but not enough to get offside. Now somebody else can flag from the other side. But if they stop the play, that would be offense again.
Now they will stop it sometimes on the defense nowadays too. It seems like more and more they do that. So it'd be interesting to see what call he makes here.
Nope, they're going back the other way. Motion again. So there's 10 yards of penalty. Now it's 3rd down and 21 for the Nickerson Panthers. But the Vikings have to be careful because they have the ability to throw it deep. They like to run the flanker. Now there is going to be a timeout. We'll step aside as well. 2:08 left to go, first quarter. Timeout. Back with Smoky Valley football right after this.
Do you feel the need for seed? Grow stronger and prosper longer with Phelps Seed. They're your go-to source for premium quality Pioneer brand corn, soybean, milo, and sunflower seed, along with wheat, cover crop, and forage seeds. If you're in the need, trust in Phelps Seed. With you from the word go.
The Quarterback Club of Lindsborg is proud to support athletics in the Smoky Valley. Join us each Tuesday at 7 a.m. in the Bethany College cafeteria to hear from all the Vikings and Swedes sports coaches.
This is a Smoky Valley Vikings broadcast.
Stadium, Lynch Brothers Seal. I want to thank some more of our sponsors, including Arn Reinert, CPA, Yoder Lawn and Tree Care, Farm Bureau, Farmer State Bank, Lynchburg Family Dental Care, Gallant Tire and Auto, Old Stuga, CNL Heating and Cooling, Dower Welding, Harry Malary, Scott's, and Midway Motors. 2:08 left to go. Nickerson facing a 3rd and 21 yards to go. So they got a big hill to climb here for 3rd and 4th down if they choose to go for it on 4th down. Vikings hopefully get them stopped here, shut down. Kind of a toss right up the middle, and it's wrapped up. Brewster Binkson, among others, on the big number 15 with the ball carrier. That's Gomez, and he'll get about 7 or 8 just across midfield, but it's going to be 4th down and 14.
Yeah, it looked like they tried to get a little lead action there, had the fullback lead him through, and he did a pretty good job, except for we had nice players coming from the edge, had great attack there on behalf of Brewster Bankston, as you pointed out. The other one I saw in there was Skylar Hopkins getting a hold of a foot there and holding on. The advantage Nickerson has here on 4th and long is they do have the wind at their in their face, disadvantage, blowing it back, so that was good for the Vikings to get that stop.
Good snap, Salazar to kick it. It's a line drive bounce kick that's going to take about a little bit of a wildcat bounce and come to rest on the 27-yard line. So the Vikings have it 1st and 10 as they gave Nickerson a couple of first downs, but then stiffened and they had to punt, so they've punted twice.
Yeah, I want to remind people, if you're sitting at home, take the computer out, live.smokyvalley.org. Mike Rose and his gang up there getting everything running for tonight's game. Again, how great is it that we have that ability to be able to watch the games from the comfort of our own home or wherever we are tonight. Looks like there's about 43 people on right now streaming, so great to give those people an opportunity to watch the game and hopefully have a chance to listen to us do the play-by-play as well.
Wide receiver each way for the Vikings. Luke is going to hand it off to the first man through. That's Raleigh Wilson, and he'll get maybe a yard. And don't pay any attention to any of those pictures that he might put up there off and on. He put my birthday picture up there.
Happy birthday to you, Don.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate your popularity. See, I am not running for any office or anything, so you don't have to keep promoting me for anything.
I was really impressed with that freshman high school picture there. That was pretty nice.
Yeah, that was clean shaven and little slick back haircut there. 2nd down and 8 for Smoky Valley. They'll go back to the wishbone formation, double tight. So really compacted in the line of scrimmage there. Turn and hand it off to Shugren trying the right side. He's got a little bit of room. He'll get up near the 35-yard line. And that could be the last play of the first quarter if the Vikings choose not to snap it again. They wouldn't have to with the play clock being different. The play clock starts at 40 right at the end of the play this year. And so you always know how much time you have to get it. You don't have to wait for the referee to set that 25-second play clock. It looks like they'll get up there in time. 3rd down and a long 3 for the Vikings. I formation this time behind Jake Lucas. He's going to hand it off to Wilson, the first man through, and he's going to get near first down yardage. He'll be about a yard short, so the Vikings are going to be facing 4th and 1 when we come back with the second quarter. No score after 1 quarter. Back with quarter number 2 after this timeout.
Auburn Pharmacy is your local hometown Lindsborg pharmacy, located at 216 North Harrison Street, proudly supporting the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes.
People's Bank and Trust takes pride in its heritage of service to the customer and features 12 locations in central Kansas. People's Bank and Trust, a proud supporter of Smoky Valley and Bethany College. Member FDIC.
The Vikings play here.
Like like to welcome you back to Anderson Stadium here, Lindstrom Brothers Field. It is second quarter action. Vikings tied 0-0 right now with Nickerson. Again, a great battle. Opening drive for the Vikings tonight went 11 plays in a little over 6 minutes, and they came away empty, gave the ball back to Nickerson. Nickerson now with an opportunity to get the Vikings stopped on this next drive. Okay, you got some stats for us, Jason?
Nickerson with 37 yards in the first quarter. Smoky Valley with 41 yards in the first quarter. Each team is 0 for 4 on third down, and we've had the time of possession of 7 minutes and 27 seconds to their 4 minutes and 33 seconds.
And it is fourth down again now for the Vikings. They've had pretty good success on fourth down and had a timeout here to be able to think about what they wanted to do.
Wishbone formation, Lysell Haven on the tight end on the far side. Brant Hebel on tight end on the near side. See if they can pick it up again. And Kennedy's got it, or Shugren's got it, and more, all the way up to the 48-yard line. Court Shugren just running hard tonight.
Yeah, he is. That was a great hole opened up by that line up front. Ends up bringing it to open up here to this right side, closest to the Smoky Valley bench, and then was able to cut back. Has a nice gainer almost to the 50-yard line, where the Vikings will start 1st and 10 here for this next part of the drive.
3 for 3 now on fourth down are the Vikings, so that's a good stat to keep coming up with. Wishbone formation again for Jake Lucas. Turn and hand it off to second man through. That's Shugren again across midfield and down to the other 48-yard line, so he'll gain nearly 4 yards on first down.
Tell you the nice thing about that wishbone or some of the other three-back looks we give the ball to all three of those guys. You know, last week Kennedy, I think, was our leading rusher. Wilson right behind him. This week it seems like Shugren's the one breaking free just a little bit more on some of his runs, and so he's been able to hit the gap a little bit. We bring back Wilson once in a while. We go back to Kennedy, and any time one of those guys can break something and make a big play.
Absolutely. Peters is the wide receiver to the far side this time with I formation behind Lucas. Long play count. We like to go a little longer. Here comes Wilson busting his way up in the middle. He's got it down, so it's going to be 3rd down and 1. Great hard run by Raleigh Wilson. That is absolutely a straight north and south run.
It is, and they're taught so well to hit that hole hard. Like I said, everything's a timing thing. As soon as that ball's snapped, that's handed out there. They hit that gap, and they take the ball with them. And you know, earlier, right before we went to break for the quarter, it didn't look like we were going to have much of a gain. Raleigh ran into a brick wall for just a second, and then he was able to bounce off and get a nice gain.
3rd down and short for the Vikings. Back to wishbone formation on this play. Handed off to Kennedy. He's got some room, trying to get outside. He's got some room. He's across the 30, 25, 20, 15, and driven out of bounds inside the 20. The Vikings are inside the Next Tech Wireless red zone. Lowest rates, flexible plans, and exceptional customer service for everywhere you are. Say goodbye to being just a number and say hello to something different at Next Tech Wireless. What a nice run by Kennedy.
Beautiful 30-yard gain around the outside. He started up on the left hash or left gap right there, was able to get the ball to the outside. Nice little wishbone look, made everything look like it was going to the right. And then Kennedy right up the gut, and he's pushed out at the 13-yard line. Vikings with a great opportunity to score here early in the second quarter.
Back to wishbone formation, double tight for the Vikings. 1st and 10 from the 13. Jake Lucas has gone all the way at center. Here comes Raleigh Wilson. He's got some push with the line, and he'll get down to the 10-yard line. And he'll pick up a 3. Those are tough yards, and you like your offensive linemen and your other backs helping to push on that play.
Yeah, and it looked like they were going to be able to get more of a push. That just shows us a little bit how strong Nickerson is. It looked like that whole pile started to move toward the end zone, and all of a sudden, some of those big guys for Nickerson really reiterated the fact that they were there and pushed back and were able to stop him for only about a 2-yard gain.
So 2nd down and a long 7, short 8. Kennedy out now, and somebody else out. I think the Vikings are going to have to call timeout if Court Shugren comes off. Well, I guess he got off in time.
Got Andrew Peters in the backfield this time.
I formation behind Lucas. And a turn and toss it to Peters, trying to get outside. They're trying to slow him down. He finds a little seam. He gets down to the 5 and down to the 4-yard line, where he is knocked maybe out of bounds. I think they said he was inbound, so he picks up about 9 or it's going to be 3rd down and 1.
Nice play design on that toss right. They had Skylar Hopkins pull out of that, and he's leading the charge. And then you had Raleigh Wilson out in front. So you had Hopkins and Wilson leading Peters around the edge. I would like to be led by that group. I think I could maybe pick up a yard or two. But Andrew did a great job getting it down to 3rd and short. And again, the Vikings can pick up a first down without getting a touchdown.
Wishbone formation, double tight behind Lucas. Oh, they're going to be a penalty, and Raleigh Wilson went in for the score, but
yeah, it looks like we might have jumped on that.
We might have jumped on that one, so back us up 5 yards. It's going to be 3rd down and 6. We've done so well after that early penalty.
Some discussion there amongst the. It's changed to them. They call offsides on the defense.
Yeah,
that should move us down to a first down.
Yeah, that is inside the marker now, so it's 1st and goal at the 2-yard line. So I don't know where, like you say, sometimes they stop that and sometimes they don't, but they stopped that on a defensive offsides this time. Not much complaining from the sideline and Nickerson coaching staff, so Vikings have it 1st and goal with 8:44 and counting here in the second quarter. Wishbone formation behind Lucas. Turn and hand it off to Shugren. He's trying to find the end zone.
I think that ball came out.
And Nickerson says they have it, and the officials say they do too. I thought he was trying to stretch it toward the goal line, and big number 74 comes away with it. So on 1st and goal, the Vikings fumble it away.
This has been the story of us this year. I mean, the Vikings have been able to get close, get down in the red zone, and it always seems like something kind of bites us once we get there. It looked like it was a nice play. Shugren took the ball across the right side, looked like he was getting through there. Never looked like actually he had the ball real well. Looked like it was on his left hip if you watch that on the replay. And as soon as he got contacted in the middle of that line, ball pops right out. Nickerson lands on it.
Well, they're double wing. There comes the quarterback. Boy, he's got a big push right up the middle. He's going to get up near the 10-yard line. He's going to get about 7 or maybe 8 yards on the first play with a quarterback sneak. So they really use their size and pushing ability to get the ball out of the shadow of their goal line.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of quarterback sneaks pick up 8.
No.
That was pretty impressive. Like you said, he really got a nice push through there, was able to get a nice gain and really get him out of trouble.
Double wide receiver this time. Another quarterback sneak, and he'll get first down yardage. So first down on 2 plays by Nickerson with just under 8 minutes left to go in the second quarter. They got the ball on the turnover on the 2-yard line. So they started on the 2-yard line this time. See where this drive ends up.
Yeah, 2 plays, 12 yards. That's a pretty good gain there as they continue to move the ball out of the shadow of their own goalpost.
First down, Nickerson. Man in motion to the near side, counter back to the far side, and Vikings are trying to arm tackle. And big number, and there, the ball comes loose late. Did they call it down? I believe they're going to say it was called down dead.
I think they're going to, some discussion in there of whether or not he was down or not down, that's for sure.
Well, that ball came out early. You'll be able to see it here on the replay. And they're going to spot it down. The far line judge had the ball down. The near side lineman, he went running up to the football because he didn't see the ball, didn't see whether he was down or not. So a gain of 8 on the play that did not result in a fumble. You can't challenge in high school football.
Hard to tell in that play. We had guys around his ankles. Couldn't tell if his knee was down when the ball came out, but it definitely came out at some point.
Tries to get outside. Got some running room. Here's a big play coming up for Nickerson. Kennedy makes the play, driving him out at the 40-yard line. But nice big run in there by Isley. And they got that sweep. That was a favorite play that they ran last week in their 400-yard game against Hoisington.
Yeah, and they were able to get an excellent block out on the edge. We had a nice job of committing up on the right-hand side over here close to the Smoky Valley bench. I think that was Brant Hebel, and he was just cut under by the blocker coming out on the external there.
Comes a run up the middle with some more room, and it's going to go all the way. 40, 30, 20, 10. Peters can't catch him. And a 60-yard run, a 98-yard drive, culminating with the big number. Is it D'Amato or Gomez?
It's Gomez, number 15. Big run, 60 yards, like you said, Donnie. Took it right up the gut from the 40. Nobody really got a hand on him. They had a nice hole devised there on the left-hand side of the line, hitting the 2-hole, and it looked like he just got right through there into the second wave. Nobody really got to him. Good upfield block into the linebacking core, and it was off to a foot race at that point. Andrew Peters looked like he might catch him, but was left up short.
Isley on for the extra point, up and good. Our score with 6:47 left to go in the second quarter. Nickerson on top, 7-0. Back right after this.
Lindsborg Community Hospital and Family Healthcare Clinic, supporting concussion safety and impact testing for all athletes who call the Smoky Valley home.
The Old Stuga in downtown Lindsborg is celebrating 40 years in business. Home of the famous Brent Nelson sandwich. Visit them on South Main Street. Go Vikings and go Swedes.
This is a Rockingham broadcast of the Smoky Valley Vikings.
98-yard drive, culminating with a 60-yard run by Gomez, and that was really a turn of the tables there as the Vikings had it first and goal. Looked like they were going to push it in to take the lead. They fumbled the ball away, and just 2 minutes and less than 2 minutes later, they trail 7-0.
Yeah, same thing we were just talking about, though. Again, the Vikings push, really dominate the first quarter and a half here with time of possession and things. Get down to the 2-yard line, actually get a penalty to move it down to the 2. And again, we just can't quite get the ball to bounce in our favor next to the end zone. Turn it over, they get the ball, and as you mentioned, 5 plays, 98 yards. And the next thing you know, after it looked like the Vikings would take the lead, Nickerson's up 7-0 with 6:47 to play in the first half.
Got plenty of time to put a drive together, but we'll hope they can do that. High end over end kick. It's going to be short. It's going to bounce in front of Kennedy. He's got it at about the 12-yard line. Fake reverse. Kennedy's going to keep it, trying to get outside. He's got a little seam, but good close there by Gomez. And they're going to get him down inside the 25 at about the 23-yard line.
Yeah, good return. You know, we've worked on that little reverse look a lot and try to show it to be able to get the other team to think it's going to come again. We ran it twice against Larned on that first week. This time they faked the reverse. Kennedy keeps it, is able to take the ball from about the 10-yard line all the way up to the 24 before he was finally taken out. And the Vikings will again start another drive. Good success on the last drive. Ran the ball extremely well. Hit the holes hard. Just need to continue doing some of the same things on this drive, but ball security really important.
Lucas under center, wishbone formation. Turn and hand it off. Late handoff. Wilson, I believe, is the ball carrier. And he'll get 4 yards on the carry. 2nd down and 6, we'll call it. 6.5 minutes to go. Nickerson has just taken a 7-0 lead. Number 60, he takes up a lot of room. 74 is no little guy in the middle there, so they got 2 big nose tackles on their defensive set.
Yeah, 60 looks like he comes in at 315. Good-sized player, 6'1", 315.
Trying to get outside is Kennedy. He's got some room, runs over a would-be tackler. First down yardage up to the 35-yard line. So 2 plays, the Vikings get a first down. That would be good. That kind of sets the tone for the drive here. If they can get bunches of yards now, Nickerson might, with the lead, they might play a little looser than they were before, open up just a little bit for the Vikings. They'll stay with the wishbone formation. Double tight end, Binkson and Haven Lysell as the tight ends. Looks like the linebackers are stunting a little bit. And we got a late flag by the man in the white hat.
Offense, 24.
So somebody jumped on the Vikings this time. It'll be 1st and 15 for Smoky Valley. Back to the 30-yard line. We're at Smoky Valley football, Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field here on the campus of Bethany College, where the Vikings are taking on the Haven Wildcats in what is a league game. They really don't have a league title anymore because you can't play enough games in your own league to crown a champion. Vikings will go wishbone formation once again. They're on the road next week at Heston. Long play count by Jake Lucas. Tosses to Kennedy, trying to get on the outside. He's got a little bit of room. He's got to cross up to the 40, 45, and driven out of bounds near first down yardage. So the outside sweep, after you said you got to run inside to get the inside kind of clogged up, and then you can take outside. And Peters and Kennedy have a lot of speed.
Yeah, and that time he had 4 lead blockers out in front of him. The way the Vikings set up those sweeps, it's so nice. They continue to get guys that they can pull and run around the edge there. They had number 75, number 11, number 25, and number 6 over there, all for us. I think that was Hopkins and the gang and Raleigh Wilson and everybody out in front. Gives us an opportunity to get blockers out there and a chance for us to spring something big. Big gain that time. Really makes it a manageable second and short.
First and 15 turned into a second down and 2. Something happened there. Lucas ends up with the ball. He'll get maybe a half a yard on the play. And a late flag goes up from the umpire in the middle of the field. So somebody said something or somebody did something underneath the bottom of the pile there. So we'll see what unfolds from that penalty flag. Unsportsmanlike, and it looks like he's doing something against Nickerson. So a 15-yard penalty tacked on to the end of that run. Lucas was held short of the first down, so it was not going to be a first down. And it goes across midfield and down to the 42-yard line.
It looked like that unsportsmanlike is going to be an after-the-play penalty. It looked like Haven Lysell Stewart down the field a little bit and then got a pretty good shove from number 54 back there, back over the pile. That's going to be the play they're going to make the call on right there for the unsportsmanlike and get Smoky Valley a first down.
Wishbone formation again for Smoky Valley. Turn and hand it off to Shugren, trying the side. He's got some room. He's still going, still on his feet, all the way down to the 25-yard line. Good block by Haven Lysell and Skylar Hopkins, and Shugren just plowing his way down.
Yeah, another great gash right up the middle. Shugren running the ball extremely well tonight. Right from the 42-yard line, just continues to get some steam built up. Really had one guy that we had to beat right there. He had a blocker out in front of him and had another tackler come from the side. But a big 17-yard gain really sets the Vikings up in good field position at the 25.
Now this drive started back at the 23-yard line, I believe. And now it's 1st and 10 at the 25 on the other end of the field. I formation this time. Raleigh Wilson blasting his way up the middle. And he'll have a gain of about 2 yards is all. Boy, that was another risky one there that barely looked like he had enough room to get the handoff in.
Yeah, Jake's doing a nice job. You know, the one little play here that didn't quite go as planned, we were able to pick up the unsportsmanlike after it, but he's doing a nice job sticking the ball right in the belly of our running backs and giving them a chance to hit the hole when they need to.
Late substitution for Nickerson is off in time. Now the coach is going to call timeout because he was afraid he wouldn't get off in time. So timeout on the field, 4:07 left to go. Vikings driving. Nickerson leads at 7-0. Back right after this.
Vernon Jewelers in downtown Salina is the perfect place to get that one-of-a-kind item for yourself or that special someone. Vernon Jewelers, located at 123 North Santa Fe in downtown Salina, is a proud supporter of area athletics.
Give us a call at Hometown Outdoor Power in Salina, Minneapolis, and McPherson to get your mowers. Sign up for our winter service program. Don't forget to ask about the early sign-up promotion when you call.
Scores from around the area after one quarter: Beloit 6, Minneapolis 0, El Saline 7, Hutch Trinity 0. Our score, of course, 0-0 at the quarter. Abilene over Chapman 7-6. In the first quarter, South and Central are tied up at 7 apiece. Other games going on in the league. I know that Heston is at Pratt. Let's see if I can get a couple more of those here tonight. Vikings are facing 2nd down and 8. Ball out at the 23-yard line. They got to get just about to the 15-yard line for a first down. Clock will stop on the snap. A wishbone formation for Smoky Valley again. Turn and hand it off to Kennedy on a little bit of a counter play. He'll get inside the Next Tech Wireless red zone, and it's going to be 3rd down and about 5.
Yeah, the Vikings are in the Next Tech Wireless Red Zone. Lowest rates, flexible plans, and exceptional customer service for everywhere you are. Say goodbye to being just a number. Say hello to something different at Next Tech Wireless. Good hard run by Kennedy, and again, the running is difficult inside at times. Some good, strong linemen on behalf of Nickerson. They were able to stand him up that time and make it a 3rd and 5.
Going to 5 down linemen as they substitute one of their linebackers out. Wishbone formation for Smoky Valley again. Raleigh Wilson gets the call. High knees trying to chop and get some yardage, and he'll get down to about the 18, 17-yard line. It's going to be 4th down. 4th down, and looks like a long 2 or short 3 yards.
Yeah, Brandon Malm back in the game. He had his ankle wrapped up here on the sideline. Had been moving around a little bit, trying to get released and get back in. He's only been in, I think, for this possession. Still a little ginger out there with it, but trying to give it a go there in the middle.
Well, this is a 4th down now, and they didn't get a great spot on that, so it's going to be a long 3 yards for Smoky Valley. Looks like the wide out runs have been the best successful for 4 yards or more. We'll see what they play. Wishbone formation behind Jake Lucas. There's a jump on the defensive side. Jumped into the neutral zone, and the Vikings will pick up 1st down by penalty. The defensive end, he's hitting himself in the helmet. He's mad because he knew better than to jump.
Great cadence by Jake. That's one of the things that we really like to hang our hat on here at Smoky Valley and under Coach Lambert is the cadence. These guys do such a great job maintaining the discipline to stay in their stance, and more often than not, you'll see us getting 5-yard penalties on the defense before our offense ever picks up one.
Still 1st and 10, ball at the 13-yard line. The Vikings can get a 1st down here on this drive. Here comes Shugren trying to get outside, and somebody got him low, somebody got him high, and there's going to be no gain on that play. The low guy was number 16, D'Amato. I don't know who got him high.
Yeah, it looked like it might have been number 75 for them coming in. That was Sam Logan to finish that play off. Good, strong job of standing him up and then allowing the rest of the team to come over and make a play.
2nd down and 10 for Smoky Valley. 2:19, so clock's not a problem. Nickerson on that nice drive took a lead. Now the Vikings trying to answer right back. Wishbone formation behind Jake Lucas. Bengtson and Lysell Stewart are the tight ends. Toss trying to get outside is Kennedy, trying to string it out, still trying to string it out. It's got a little bit of room, and he's going to be driven down about the 10-yard line. So he'll pick up 3 yards. It's going to be 3rd down and 7.
That was one of those plays that looked like it was going to have a little bit more room than it did. He again had blockers out in front. And I tell you, that player again, number 44, Tanner Smith, came flying from his middle linebacker position, if I'm not mistaken, to get all the way across, maneuver through all those blockers, and take Kennedy out for what was relatively about a 2-yard gain, even though it looked like it was going to amount to be a much longer gain.
They're at the 10-yard line. They need to get to the 3. 3rd down and 7, 1:25 and counting. Vikings do have all 3 of their timeouts left. Wishbone formation, double tight for Jake Lucas, who's gone all the way at quarterback this night. Long play, turn, looking for the pass, still looking for the pass, going out to catch Peters, and he just overthrows him. Clock will stop with 1:08 left to go, but the Vikings now facing 4th down and 7.
Ball was a little high that time, but I tell you, he put it in a spot where really only Andrew was going to be the one to have a chance to come up with it. He didn't leave it short. He made it to where if Andrew could run under it, great. There was some great underneath coverage on behalf of Nickerson there. They were really observing what the play was going to be, getting back into coverage. So it was really going to be a small window to throw it into to start with, but it ends up coming up incomplete.
I got a timeout by one of the officials. I don't know who's calling timeout here. Haven't indicated yet. And they say Smoky Valley will call a timeout. We'll keep it right here with 1:08 left to go. It said something to Holly Toll last week about coming up to talk about some of the scores, but we got some great outcomes for Smoky Valley cross country at Clay Center last night, right?
Yeah, it was last night. On the girls' side, they ended up team first place, did a fantastic job. Gracie Lambert's finishing 4th, Elise Peterson 5th, Brianna Pretty 9th, Kaisa Peterson 10th, Olivia Bankston 17th, Lydia Peterson 24th, Zoe Grace 26th. In the JV division, Ashlyn Bryant took 3rd, and Nevada Atchison took 7th. On the boys' side, they were able to finish 3rd last night. Ryan Helene taking 1st in 17:01, Garrett Huffman 16th, Stephen Peterson 17th, Lucas Apel 20th, Trayton Miller 28th, Aiden Replogle 34th, Justice Gardner 35th, And on the boys JV side, Logan Bodenhammer, 7th. Case Lindstrom, 9th. Trevor Jones, 14th. Caden Kibler, 17th. Devin Van Fossen, 19th. And Jamison Sattler, 23rd. So kudos to the cross-country team for their efforts last night, continuing to have another great season.
We'll talk more about tennis and volleyball as well at halftime. But here the Vikings have a big 4th down to pick up. 4th down and 7. Ball needs to get down to the 3-yard line or they'll turn it over on downs again. Obviously, we'd love to score, but we'll see what happens with 1:08 left. They're going to put 3 receivers out to the near side. Bengtson, Peters, and Kennedy. Shotgun formation for Lucas this time.
Watch that backside. Haven Lysell Stewart on the backside of this.
He's blocking a little bit. He's going to throw it. He's got a touchdown. Brewster Bengtson right at the goal line, and he just walked it in. Beautiful pass by Jake Lucas, and the Vikings get within 1 at 1:04, 7-6.
Yeah, it was a beautiful play. Was able to get those trips looks over here and send a couple of players to the outside. Bankston actually is the farthest outside player on this, and he just runs directly into the middle, allowing the 2 other players to clear the inside a little bit for him. Actually, I take that back. Peters went across first, took the middle guy with him. Then we took the guy on the outside, and Bankston just sits right at the goal line. Touchdown Vikings, cut the lead to 7-6.
And they'll go for 2 on the wishbone formation. Double tight end. Long play count. Try to get it up the middle. Kennedy or Shugren, and he's not going to get it. Our score with 1:04 left to go. Vikings 6, Nickerson 7. Back with the ensuing kickoff right after this.
Lowest rates, flexible plans, exceptional customer service, and coverage for everywhere you are. Say goodbye to being just a number. Say hello to something different at Next Tech Wireless.
Farmers State Bank of Lindsborg, located at 447 Harrison Street, is proud to support the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes. Good luck, Vikings, and good luck, Swedes. Member FDIC.
You're listening to Smoky Valley Vikings Athletics.
It's easy to criticize when you're in our position because the outside plays have been running the best, but you know they're going to expect the outside plays, so then you hope to get one up the middle. But Court Shugren just held just out of the end zone for the 2-point conversion, but we still got a lot of ball to play.
Yeah, we do. And like you said, we'd been successful on the outside runs, which made you believe that they were going to take some of those away, especially being, about a 3-yard run here for a 2-point conversion. So again, we tried to hit the middle. Thought quick hitters have been good too. Usually we're able to pick up 3 to 5 yards on most of those, and it just didn't happen that time. I thought Court hit the hole hard, just got stood up immediately, and before he could break that tackle, a number of Nickerson Panthers were able to come in and finish him off. Brandon Malms is out on the sideline right now, back with that injury again to the ankle. So Trey Kennedy is going to kick off this time for the Vikings.
And the good thing is the Vikings will give the ball to Nickerson here, but we'll get it to start the third quarter. So we'll see if we can make sure they don't get a quick play here and go into halftime down by 1. Approach of the ball, high kick. One of the back guys and now up guys takes a fair catch. He signaled a fair catch, and now he started running, so they may back him up 5 yards. Because he waved his hand in the air for a fair catch, and then he caught it and started running. He didn't remember what he did, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's going to be infraction there for taking off the way he did, because he did give the one hand wave there. And that's an advantageous for the Vikings, because the 26-yard line that leaves you some options here with a minute left. If you want to try to open up the passing game with a couple of long throws, you're down in that end down there, and then you might have a chance to go something to the end zone. Now you're moving back to the 20 and a half. Now I think you might see them just try to hit it right up the middle or on the edge, and maybe see if they can just get to the half with a 1-point lead.
Man in motion to the far side, dropping back to pass. Passed out in the flat, caught, and driven out of bounds by Shugren after a first down gain up to near the 32 or 33 yards. So that play took about 5 seconds is all, so you got to be careful because they can string together 6 or 7 plays and have a chance. They got a good kicker. So a field goal is not out of the question.
A dangerous play, though. That was actually a lateral the way he threw that backwards. So if he would have dropped that would open things up a lot.
Double flanker again, wide receiver near side, flanker in motion. Now blast up the middle. No, the quarterback's going to keep it himself, and he gets up near the 40-yard line. He got a great spot across the 42 42-yard line, first down yardage again. So a couple of generous spots there by the sideline official. And that stops the clock for him again. Those first down, Nickerson at the 42-yard line. So 2 big plays in a row, 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. So they may open this up a little more for the pass right now. Another pass caught out in the flat by Salazar, trying to kick it back up the middle. Gets across midfield. There comes a flag in late. That's got to be a hold or a block in the back.
Yeah, beautiful hit coming across. Haven Lysell Stewart was able to really punish that screen pass once he got by the first wave. But you're right, looked like there could have easily been a hold here on the edge. Anytime you run a screen, you always have that opportunity. It is going to be holding Nickerson here on this side part. But it's a beautifully set up screen. We're able to bring a couple of edge blockers out to be able to create a little bit of space. And he was able to cut the ball back into the inside. But like I said, great pursuit by the Vikings to make what looked like could have been a big play turn out to be a short gain and eventually end up being a 4-yard loss after the distance.
2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Garcia back in motion now, running to the far side, still running. Now he looks like he's going to tuck it and run. He's going to run out of bounds, which will stop the clock, but he'll lose about 5 or 6 yards on that play. Second down and long for Nickerson.
Always difficult when you're a young player like that, but once he's gotten that roll and he's got some area out there, you almost want to see that he throws that ball up the field a little bit and avoids taking that loss, because again, that's kind of the enemy right now of Nickerson, is moving backwards on the field. They've got to continue, if they want any shot at being able to get their kicker out here, moving the ball up the field. But again, the Vikings are able to push him back just a little bit further there and make it second and long.
2 receivers near side, 1 to the far side. A little quick slant. No, now he's still dropping down the middle. Going to go down the middle, and he overthrows everybody. Overthrows everybody by a long ways. The intended receiver down there was number 3, Miller. But it was well overthrown. Andrew Peters back in coverage step for step with the intended receiver. So now we're down to 24.3 seconds left before halftime, but it is third and long for the Nickerson Panthers.
Yeah, it was a nice, that screen we saw 2 plays ago was a setup play for that one. It was a fake screen. We basically called it a slip, and he slips right out. Another player slips out instead of blocking and tries to get down that seam, hoping that we'll commit hard on the screen pass, and he did. He overthrew him by a good 5 yards on that play. Otherwise, might have had a chance for at least a gain. I think Andrew Peters was there for the stop.
2 flankers and 1 wide receiver each way. Quarterback going down the string again, and he's going to overthrow his intended target again. So just hard to get that passing with the wind. He got a receiver down there. He threw into double coverage, but he threw it over the top where, like you said earlier, only his guy could catch it. But now they're facing 4th down and 20.
Yeah, as deep as he threw that one, I'm not sure anybody could have caught it. But it was, again, part of that's that wind. There's a pretty stiff breeze coming from south to north, and there is going to be a penalty on the Vikings here, though.
Must have been a late hit on the quarterback then. So they're stepping off 15 yards against the Vikings, puts it right across midfield to the 49-yard line. It's going to be, is it after the play or is it during the play?
No, it looks like it was during the play. Well, no, they're going to move. They can't decide yet. I think they're still going to call it third down.
I think it's third down and short for Nickerson. Now the man in the White House saying something. The other guys are saying
he's
something
saying first down. That has to be a personal foul of some kind on that call. So
automatic first down.
It is going to be an automatic first down. Again, not so much the first down important here. Time, 19 seconds.
19 seconds left to go. Man in motion to the near side. A reverse to the far side. Salazar's got some running room. He's got 1 man to beat. He's got 1 block. He's down to the 20 and driven out of bounds by Kennedy inside the 20 at the 15-yard line. But there is a flag on the play at the 39-yard line.
I think they're going to get a block in the back. Brewster Bankston was coming up to try to make that play, and with Brewster's speed, he was able to get around the blocker, who was a lineman that was coming out that way. And because of that, I think the lineman ended up making contact in the back over there and pushing Brewster out of the way. That's a game changer right there. That's big time because, again, that took 9 seconds off the clock. There was 1 guy to beat. That's going to be set up from around the 37, 38-yard line where they're going to mark that off. So they'll mark it back to the 48-yard line after that penalty. And that will, again, like I said, the down isn't that important. It's the time, and it did take up a lot of time.
10 seconds remaining now in the first half in a tense action here as Nickerson has the ball with the win. They have big play capability. We saw a 60-yard run up the gut to get their score on a 98-yard drive. 2 receivers each way. I'd look for that fullback run right up here. Dropping back to pass, little quick hitter now going deep. Now he drops the ball, and he's going to be sacked. And that is, well, we'll see if they call a timeout or not. They don't have any timeouts left. Yeah, they do have one, but they're not going to use it. And the half ends on a quarterback fumble sack, and our halftime score. Smoky Valley trails the Nickerson Panthers 7-6. Back with halftime right after this.
Area athletes and even weekend warriors have a big home field advantage. Salina Regional's Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Clinic, working with athletes of every level to help prevent injuries or to heal through surgery and rehabilitation. You can count on Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine to get you back in the game. Led by orthopedic surgeons Drs. Timothy Hawks and Travis Rump and sports medicine physician Dr. Matthew Pyle, along with an A-team of certified athletic trainers and physical therapists, Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine provides athletes with the highest quality, most timely care. At the school, on the field, or in our clinic, we're ready wherever and whenever you need us to help you get back in the game and keep you in the game. Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Clinic. The home field advantage starts here. Visit us at salinaregionalsportsmedicine.com.
Arn Reinert, CPA LLC, provides tax and accounting services in the Smoky Valley area and is a proud supporter of Smoky Valley High School and Bethany College activities. Located at 117 South Lincoln Street in Lindsborg. Arn Reinert, CPA LLC.
First Bank Kansas is a proud sponsor of Smoky Valley football. First Bank Kansas is your community-oriented, customer-focused bank where banking is made personal. Lindsborg, Salina, and McPherson.
People's Bank and Trust is proud to support the Lindsborg community and the athletes at Smoky Valley High School and Bethany College. I'm Ryan Dieter, branch manager at the Lindsborg location for People's Bank and Trust, a proud native of Lindsborg, and I'm ready to be your banker. People's Bank and Trust, meeting the needs of our community and always improving the way we do business. Located at 201 South Main in Lindsborg, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Go Vikes and go Swedes.
This is the Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Clinic halftime show. A first half recap, scores from around the area, and keys to a second half win. Smoky Valley Vikings football on 95.5 The Rock.
Welcome back to Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field, here on the campus of Bethany College, where the Vikings are trailing the Nickerson Panthers 7-6 here at halftime. The halftime show is brought to you by the Salina Regional Orthopedic Sports Medicine Clinic, working with athletes of every level to help prevent injuries, enhance performance, or to heal through surgery and rehabilitation. At the school, on the field, or in their clinic, they're ready whenever and wherever you are. Wherever you need them to help you get back in the game, the home field advantage starts at the Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Clinic.
Jay Myers, who has been named as the Kansas 3A Track and Field Coach of the Year. The culmination of this achievement has been 27 years of molding our Smoky Valley student athletes into the success they have become. During the 2019 season alone, the track team under Jay's tutelage witnessed both boys and girls placing in the top 2 of every single meet, with the exception of one third-place finish for the boys at one meet and a third-place finish for the girls at the Kansas State competition. In that state meet, the Smoky Valley track and field team harnessed themselves with 17 event medals, 8 for the boys and 9 for the girls. While the girls garnished the third-place trophy in that meet, the boys brought home the state runner-up trophy. Numerous records were broken throughout the season that paved the way for that end result. Prior to this, there are too many successes in his lengthy career. As you can see, Coach Myers' recognition tonight is not a fluke. His nearly 30 years of work with these athletes, many of whom are in the stands tonight, have been an outstanding contribution to his commitment and passion for track and field, a sport that many can arguably say is just like Nebraska's newest slogan. Honestly, it's not for everyone. It has indeed been a place for many, though to find their grit and to finish with elite status in the state of Kansas. Coach Myers has commandeered the results by finding that grit in each of his athletes, by adding fundamental support to the talent of his team components, and by sharing his conviction that each and every athlete can become a contribution to this obvious Smoky Valley success. Congratulations, Coach Myers. Thank you for your commitment, your love of the sport, and your confidence in our Smoky Valley kids.
And so they have to play catch up, and it makes those slower kids work to where the faster they don't want those faster kids to pass them. And if it works out right, they all should finish about the same time. But that's how we kind of tried to close that gap and have those faster kids coming up on the slower kids. So.
Are all the cross-country meets the same distance? I know you had one because it was heat-related. They shortened it up, but typically are most of them the same distance, or how do you compete in that?
Yeah, we run a 5K at the high school, so unless it's shortened due to the heat, we will run a 5K each week.
And for those of us that don't know much about that, how many miles would that be?
That's a 3.1 mile course.
3.1 miles. So that's a good run to do it in 17 minutes. That's outstanding. We've been talking about the boys. How about the girls? Who are your better runners, and how have they been doing?
The girls ran really well yesterday in Clay Center. Gracie Lambert has been my number one runner each week so far, and Elise Peterson is right on her tail. So those two are running really strong. Brianna Pretty and Kaisa Peterson is coming up in my 3 and 4 spots, and then Olivia Bankston has been running in the number 5. So, those top 5 are running. They ran, like I said, really well yesterday, and we're hoping that we can, continue and get to state with our girls team as well.
How many are on a team? How many scores count in a varsity meet?
They'll take our top 5, and I run 7 runners. So my 6 and 7 runners, we call those pushers. So they get in there and try to break up some of the other teams, top 5, to kind of put them back a little bit in their scores. So we have to have at least 5 to have a team. Yeah. So
is that the same in the boys and girls? Same distance, same times, and everything?
It is now.
So who do you have coming up now that the season's kind of in full swing? What do you got left, and how soon are regionals? How soon is state?
Well, this next week, it's a Southeast Lean meet. So my junior varsity is going to be running varsity this week because I'm taking both boys and girls varsity to Rimrock and Lawrence, which is where the state meet is. So that'll give them an opportunity to run that course before state. And then we'll have Halstead and Ellsworth after that. But then we start in at League and Larned, and then we'll go to regional and state after that.
So it all concludes yet in October, or do you run into November?
November 2nd is state.
The state meet.
It is.
So hopefully it'll cool down. How do you handle the hot weather? Do you make sure they have plenty of water? The kids have been running a long time, I'm sure.
They have, and the heat, we're starting to get used to it, but it's tough, and I keep telling them that they're going to feel so much better when it cools down. But we do have lots of water, and especially at meets when they're running especially hard, just having ice baths and like I said, lots of water to cool them down.
You had a home meet earlier. Do you have another home meet, or are we done with home?
We're done with home this year.
The closest one then would be next week at Southeast of Saline?
Well, Southeast of Saline, and like I said, my JV is going to be running varsity at that meet, just because the varsity is going to Rimrock. But the next closest would probably be Ellsworth here in a couple weeks. So.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you coming out and kind of filling us in on the success you're having. We wish you the best of luck, and hope we'll have a state championship medalist or team or everybody. We just hope everybody does really good.
Yes, thank you.
Holly Toll Lindquist of the Viking cross country team. Oh, and who are your assistant coaches?
Sid Dipple.
Sid helps with that. So
yep.
She loves to run too. So yeah, you're out there all the time. So congratulations on a great season so far, and best of luck.
Thank you.
That was Holly for you, and we'll take another timeout. We come back. We'll wrap up the statistics. You're listening to Smoky Valley Football, back right after this.
Farley's Bar and Grill in downtown Lindsborg is your game day headquarters. Come try their Monte Crisco or other specialty menu items. Farley's Bar and Grill, located at 101 North Main Street in Lindsborg, proudly supporting the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by the Bank of Tesket. Generations of confidence, relationships for life. With locations in Lincoln, Salina, Tesket, and Lindsborg. The Bank of Tesket, member FDIC.
We're the Bank of Tesket.
The Quarterback Club of Lindsborg is proud to support athletics in the Smoky Valley. Join us each Tuesday at 7 a.m. in the Bethany College cafeteria to hear from all the Vikings and Swedes sports coaches.
Auburn Pharmacy is your local hometown Lindsborg pharmacy, located at 216 North Harrison Street, proudly supporting the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes.
People's Bank and Trust takes pride in its heritage of service to the customer and features 12 locations in central Kansas. People's Bank and Trust, a proud supporter of Smoky Valley and Bethany College. Member FDIC.
Lindsborg Community Hospital and Family Healthcare Clinic, supporting concussion safety and impact testing for all athletes who call the Smoky Valley home. Join the celebration at the Lindsborg Community Hospital on Sunday, September 29th from 2 till 4 p.m. We are celebrating our 75th anniversary and the completion of our patient-centered remodel. Get a sneak peek of the new 7 days a week urgent care clinic, opening October 1st. There will be tours, refreshments, and a brief dedication ceremony at 2:30. That's September 29th. Lindsborg Community Hospital, serving the people of the Smoky Valley for 75 years. We're here when you need us.
This is a Smoky Valley Vikings broadcast.
Welcome back to Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field here on the campus of Bethany College. Time for a statistical wrap-up in this Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Clinic halftime show. What you got, Jason?
Nickerson starting out with 154 yards to Smoky Valley's 163. Smoky Valley ran 12 more plays, 20 for Nickerson and 32 for Smoky Valley. Big for Nickerson was 9 penalties for 65 yards, and Smoky Valley had 4 penalties for 25 yards. Time of possession, as we talked about earlier as one of our keys, Nickerson 6 minutes and 13 seconds versus Smoky Valley with 16 minutes and 43 seconds. 7 first downs for Nickerson to 10 for Smoky Valley. Third down conversions, 1 for 5 Nickerson, 2 for 8 Smoky Valley. But Smoky Valley also had 5 for 5 on fourth down conversions in the first half. Passing for Smoky Valley, led by Jake Lucas, 1 for 3 with 10 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Rushing, Trey Kennedy, 10 carries for 74 yards. Court Shugren, 8 carries for 43 yards. Raleigh Wilson, 9 carries for 25 yards. And Andrew Peters, 2 for 11. Receiving, Brewster Binkston with 1 catch for 10 yards, also the touchdown. And leading the way defensively for Smoky Valley, Haven Lysell Stewart with 4.5 tackles, Raleigh Wilson, Brewster Binkston with 3, Trey Kennedy with 2.5, Andrew Peters and Tanner Luddig with 2 each. For Nickerson, Trey Garcia, 2 for 4 passing for 18 yards. Rushing, Jareen Gomez, 4 carries for 71 yards. That 1 touchdown of 60 yards as well. Bryce Isley, 3 carries for 31 yards, and Trey Garcia, 8 for 26. Receiving, Connor D'Amato, 1 catch for 11 yards. Noah Salazar, 1 catch for 7 yards. Defensively, the guy's name we've been calling all night, Tanner Smith, leading the way with 5 tackles, and Bryce Isley with 4 tackles.
I think it's been a good all-in-all game and real evenly matched. The Vikings, obviously, we feel like they could have had a lead at halftime without that fumble, but we've got to pick an impact performer of the first half. Who are your candidates?
I'll start it out by saying Haven Lysell Stewart. It seems like he's in the backfield quite often defensively, and offensively I give it to Trey Kennedy, 10 carries for 74 yards. You mentioned that no one has rushed for 100 yards for us so far this season, and he's off to a great start.
He is, and I agree. I think it's difficult to really put that in perspective for an impact performance sponsored by the Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Clinic. But I'm game for co-halftime impact players because our defense has been so important to make sure we've only allowed that 7 points. That last drive was pretty big. I opened my mouth and inserted my foot and said they were probably going to go to the half, and instead it became about the wildest minute and 6 seconds I think we've seen in quite a while. And so I think it's just an overall well-played half on behalf of both teams as far as the competition level.
Yeah, they're starting to step it up, starting to figure it out a little bit. Those younger players that haven't played as much on Friday night are getting their number called more and more and getting more comfortable. But I concur. There'll be co-impact performers of the first half in a game led by Nickerson at the half by the score of 7-6. And speaking of scores, we'll try to get a few of those scores. But first I want to talk about a great night of tennis for the Vikings at Ellsworth last night as our girls took first place. Congratulations. Doubles. Elliott and Yenny first place in number 1 doubles and number 2 doubles. Jones and McMillan also taking first. And then in number 1 singles, Rockhold took second and Wright took third. So that was a very successful tennis match at Ellsworth yesterday.
It was. They did a great job, and they are off to a great start as well. It is time for a Salina Surgical scoreboard update. Opening their doors in 1999, Salina Surgical Hospital is proud to be partially physician-owned. From outpatient procedures to inpatient stays, talk to your doctor about having your next procedure at Salina Surgical Hospital. Serving Salina and our surrounding communities, Salina Surgical is 20 years strong. From around the area, McPherson up 35-0 on El Dorado. Marion 8-0 over Douglas. A lot of blanks here in the early parts of the games. Derby all over Newton 56-0. Sedgwick 17-0 over Sterling. Kenton Galva 42 over Center with 0. Northwest 14, Great Bend 0. Trinity 21, El Saline 0. And then from around the league, Haven 14, Hillsboro 13. Heston 19, Pratt 0, Hoisington 18, Larned 6, and Lyons Halstead scoreless at this time. Any other ones from you, Don?
Ellsworth 28, Sacred Heart 13, Beloit 14, shutting out Minneapolis 0. Central, coached by Mark Sambo, over South 10-7, and Chapman over Abilene by the score of 12-7 at halftime. So that's a little bit of a scoreboard update. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll have the kickoff of the second half. You're listening to Smoky Valley Football down by 1 at halftime, 7-6. Back after this 2-minute timeout.
Area athletes and even weekend warriors have a big home field advantage. Salina Regional's Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Clinic, working with athletes of every level to help prevent injuries or to heal through surgery and rehabilitation. You can count on Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine to get you back in the game. Led by orthopedic surgeons Drs. Timothy Hawks and Travis Rump and sports medicine physician Dr. Matthew Pyle, along with an A-team of certified athletic trainers and physical therapists, Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine provides athletes with the highest quality, most timely care. At the school, on the field, or in our clinic, we're ready wherever and whenever you need us to help you get back in the game and keep you in the game. Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Clinic. The home field advantage starts here. Visit us at salinaregionalsportsmedicine.com.
The Old Stuga in downtown Lidsborg is celebrating 40 years in business. Home of the famous Brent Nelson sandwich. Visit them on South Main Street. Go Vikings and go Swedes.
Qualifications and rules apply. See institution for details.
Ask for Kasasa.
Warning. Free Kasasa checking may lead to a rise in disposable income due to cashback on everyday debit card purchases, refunds on ATM fees, and elimination of so-called service fees. Increased satisfaction may result while operating your debit card. If you suffer from chronic money loss, search for Kasasa online.
This has been a financial health advisory courtesy of Kasasa. It's like money medicine for your shopping habit.
Offered locally at the Bank of Tuscan. Member FDIC. Vernon Jewelers in downtown Salina is the perfect place to get that one-of-a-kind item for yourself or that special someone. Vernon Jewelers, located at 123 North Santa Fe in downtown Salina, is a proud supporter of area athletics.
The Vikings play here.
And back at Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field here on the campus of Bethany College, the Vikings will get the ball first. They will have the wind at their back. If it's not gone down by time we get to the fourth quarter, that'd be an advantage, I guess, is to have it. But no more than we throw it. The wind isn't a factor tonight, so kicking off will be Nickerson from the north end to the south end. Looks like Peters and Kennedy are back about the 15-yard line. Vikings in their black tops, black helmets, white pants tonight. I never did mention that. And Nickerson in all white with gold and blue striping along the sides, blue numerals. A lot easier numbers to see on both teams tonight.
It's always good for us, isn't it?
Well, we've had some pretty tough ones the last couple of weeks, so it's nice to have a clear look. High end over end kick. Kennedy's going to take it about the 20-yard line and try to get over to the middle, and he's going to lose actually a yard or two back to the 20-yard line. So that kickoff didn't work very good. He'd have been better off letting that go out of bounds.
Yeah, that was a tough spot. I wasn't sure, if it was going to bounce the other way. That ball was starting to die. You couldn't quite tell if it was going to head out or stay around. And by that time, I was thinking the same thing Trey was. I was thinking that they were going to be there. I didn't think they were as close as maybe they should have been. It felt like they would have been up the field more in coverage. But you're right. Maybe letting that go out of bounds would have saved it. But we are going to start from right around the 21.
21-yard line, wishbone formation for Smoky Valley. Lucas is back under center. He's gone the entire way at that spot. Here, Kennedy trying to get outside. He's got a little room. He'll get 5, maybe 6 yards on the play. And he'll be set up second down and 5. It was spotted, like you say, at the 21, so he got across the 25. So give him a gain of about 4.5, and it'll be second down and a long 5, short 6.
Again, starting to find some success on the edge. We know we continue to mix it up, but that's been the largest gains we've had for the most part, has been when we've been able to get to the edge of the field.
Still stay in wishbone formation on this initial possession of the second half. Raleigh Wilson blasting his way up the middle. Got hopped on his back by number 23 for the Nickerson Panthers, and he was not going to let go, but Wilson carried him a good 4 yards. It's going to be third down and 2.
We mentioned before the game started, battle of attrition. If we could do which team was going to wear which team down. Both of them have hit gaps hard. Of course, the big, long 60-yard run by Nickerson to take the early lead in the second quarter. But again, both teams continuing to go at each other. We're just hoping that we have a little bit more in the tank.
Third down play, wishbone formation. Trying to get outside of Sugar. He's got first down yardage and more up near the 35-yard line. So he'll get a good chunk of yardage on that play right up to the 35-yard line. First down, Smoky Valley.
Yeah, nice job hitting the right edge of the line there for Shugren, coming right off there and being able to get a little bounce going. And, again, getting us up to the 35-yard line and a first down. Chance for 4 new downs here.
Well, first down, Smoky Valley. They're already making a couple of substitutions for Nickerson in the middle linebacking crew. Wishbone formation. Vikings are maybe starting to wear them down just a little bit. Turn and try to get the outside. The ball's loose on the ground. Peters picks it up, and he's going to be dropped back. There's that guy you've been mentioning his name all night long, Smith. And a little mishandle between the pitch from Lucas to Peters, and Peters dropped back at the 25-yard line, so a loss of 10 yards on that play.
Yeah, that's a tough one there. We have a mishandle every now and again, but our offense, for the most part, is right around the line. This one happened to be a mishandle or a mistoss here to the deep spot. Just looked like it went right through Andrew's hands, and unfortunately, that's going to result in a loss of 10 and put us behind the 8 ball a little bit here with the 2nd and 20. Peters comes out with a little bit of a limp. Might have just gotten taken down a little awkwardly.
Binkson and Hebel wide each way. I formation behind Lucas this time on 3rd and 10 or 3rd and 20. Rolling out, looking down the field for Lysell, and it's going to be tipped by one of the Nickerson players. Number 10 in there coming in to make that tip was Isley. Lysell was breaking loose, but he just couldn't quite get it over the top now. 3rd and 20 for the Vikings.
Yeah, that was a good look. Unfortunately for Jake, he didn't quite see this deep guy on the right side. He really didn't move. We had a play coming from right to left, or the edge of the line moving toward the Smoky Valley sideline. Haven slips through there, but there was one guy there waiting for that play, and it was just about a yard or two over his head. Otherwise, that could have been a big pick there from number 10, Isley, and I think he might have been able to take that ball right in. I think maybe Hebel was there on this side of the flat, but otherwise he would have had some green acres.
Shotgun formation, 2 receivers far side, 1 to the near side. Now we got a timeout by Coach Lambert. Stoppage of play. We'll keep this one right here. It's early. We've just had a lot of commercials. Again, thanking our sponsors, Smoky Valley Booster Club, Bank of Tesket, Viking Auto, Christian's Funeral Home, People's Bank and Trust, Call Mari, Call It Sold for real estate, Dr. Darrell Loader, Art Shirt, Farm Bureau, Yoder Lawn and Tree Care, Arn Reinert CPA, Farmer State Bank, Lindsberg Family Dental Care, Gallant Tire and Auto, Old Stuga, CNL Heating and Cooling, Midway Motors, Harry Malary, Scott's, and Dower Welding.
Viking volleyball this week, very successful. First of all, opened up on Saturday at the Southeast of Saline tournament. Lost their opening match of pool play against Beloit. Actually took the only set from the Vikings in pool play that time. That was the only losses they had. They ended up then beating Concordia and Salina South to tie in pool play or come in second in pool. Then after pool play, they were able to move on to the championship match and again lost to Beloit, that time in 2 sets. On Tuesday, they were home at Smoky Valley on Smoky Valley Live. They defeat Hillsborough in the opener 25-20 and 25-11, then defeat Lions 25-11, 25-22. The JV also goes undefeated that night. And then last night, varsity, they end up losing in a 3-setter to Ellenwood and lose in a 2-setter to Great Bend.
2 receivers, far side, 1 to the near side. Lucas in that shotgun formation again. Pressure coming up the middle. He's going to throw the ball down the field, and making a great catch is Lysell. Haven Stewart Lysell come back and got that ball. As he's falling down, he gets it up to the 43-yard line. It's going to be 4th down and 2, and Lucas was on his back foot. He just threw it up, kind of a prayer, and it was answered.
He had a man right in his face right about the time he let go. It was not a great look as far as what he could see up the field. And it also looked like Lysell and the player guarding him both kind of stumbled. And then Haven ends up just falling there and reaching out for the ball. Makes a great play.
Making sure his arms are under the ball.
And the Vikings are in position again for a great 4th and 2.
3 for 3 or 5 for 5, whatever they are, perfect. On 4th down. Long play count by Lucas. Here comes Shugan, and he's going to be stopped short of the 1st down. First unsuccessful try, and Nickerson's going to get it with excellent field position in Viking territory.
Yes, first time tonight, as you pointed out, the Vikings have been stopped on 4th down. They've been able to get movement and push. This time it looked like we had a nice push and some great blitzing there coming up the middle by the linebackers from Nickerson, able to get him and meet him, and I tell you, he did not move once they made contact. It was pretty much a jailbreak right up the middle. They were fully committed to running up the gut, and he gets there quickly, and there wasn't much movement. Big number 75, first one in there. I think we've mentioned his name. That's Sam Logan, ends up being the first one to make the stop.
In Viking territory pitch, and he drops the ball on the ground, and it's loose, and the Vikings come up with a great fumble recovery by Brewster Bengtson as he tries to go over there, and he does exactly what you teach you on a fumble drill. He circles it with his arms and rolls over with it. The Vikings get the ball right back.
What a great play. Again, ball's tossed, their first down play. They actually ran a little bit of an option there. He was able to pitch it back to number 16 there. That was D'Amato, and it just slips out of his hands, and the Pigskin does what the Pigskin does. It took a couple of awkward bounces. Brewster Bengtson never quit on the play, races back, and he is on top of it. The Vikings take over in Nickerson territory at the 45.
I formation for the Vikings at the 45-yard line of Nickerson. Lucas has been chased in the backfield. He's going to get sacked. Smith coming up there and making a great play or that's 45, not 44.
Yeah, that was Hull coming through there.
But they are the pair of middle linebackers that just won't quit back there. And, boy, Lucas had him on his tail immediately. It's lucky that Jake didn't fumble on that play.
Yeah, that was a designed rollout coming over here to the Viking sideline, and he didn't have much time. The drawback here is Jake has to square back up to make that pass, but he got through the line quickly, and he was all over Lucas for about a 6-yard loss.
2nd down and 16. We'll call it back to wishbone formation for the Vikings. Linebackers look like they're cheating up here. Here comes Raleigh Wilson trying to kick outside. He's got some room. He gets outside across the 45 and down to the 43-yard line. Pick up about 7 on the play. Great running by Raleigh Wilson.
Yeah, he was stopped right at the line. They had a nice little stone wall created, and he just kept the legs churning. You could almost see him just shifting down the left side of the line until finally an opening presented itself. Jake Lucas was actually going to come from behind and push him a little bit to try to get him around the edge, and finally Raleigh sees it, is able to bounce it to the outside and get a nice gain.
3rd and 9 for Smoky Valley in Nickerson territory. Toss trying to get outside his Court Shugan. He's going to try to get sandwiched, and boy, he's going to get He's going to actually lose a yard on the play. Sandwiched between two players. One of them, Smith, the linebacker. The other one of the safeties.
Yeah, coming up, the other one was Gomez. He was able to come up number 49. But, yeah, we didn't quite get the edge the way we've been able to the last few times. Didn't look like we were able to stay with our blocks, and they committed hard that time. Vikings are in Nickerson territory. I know it's 4th and 9, but I would fully expect to see us go for this.
Oh, yeah, it looks like we're going to bring now they're shifting and some more people around.
It's like a change of decision here. Looks like we're going to try to punt it and pin them deep.
So they are going to change their mind. Kennedy will go back to punt back at the 45-yard line. Nobody deep for Nickerson. I don't know if they can get back there quick enough or not. He's going to boom it, and it's going to get into the end zone for a touchback. 1st and 10, Nickerson on the 20-yard line after the Vikings get out of a little bit of a trouble with that. Don't make it on 4th down, get the ball back, and can't do anything with it. But now I kind of flipped the field on Nickerson here, and they have the ball 1st and 10.
Yeah, it was a nice punt. Just had the wind at the back. Really difficult for him to make that commitment there. Want to throw kudos to all those people behind the scenes again today, as usual. First of all, great student section. Adam Keller, what a fantastic job he does with the band. Of course, Margot Lysell and her work with the cheerleaders, who do a fantastic job, and Angela DeLiesel and her work with the dance team.
1st and 10, drop the ball again. Looks like the Vikings may have it. And they do. Another fumble by Nickerson. Number 16 was the fumbler. I don't know who got the ball.
Looked like Court Shugren.
Might have been Court Shugren, but we'll see it on our replay here. But Vikings back-to-back turnovers now by Nickerson when they get the ball back from the Vikings.
Vikings have had nice offense this half, but their best offense has been each time Nickerson runs the toss. We've picked up 10 yards there when we got them to lose the first toss, and this time it was an interior toss, and all of a sudden that ball is out and on it. Like you said, Court Shugren, first guy on it, and he was just coming up from his position, made a play on the ball, and the Vikings are in business.
In the Next Tech Wireless red zone. Long play count by Lucas. Shugren is late to get back on the field to play. Here comes Kennedy trying to get outside. He drops the ball, and
looks like the Vikings come up with it again inside. Looks like number 74 able to get on it for Smoky Valley. That's Skylar Hopkins.
It isn't getting damp out there, is it? So
it's really humid. You can feel it in here, so I don't know if that's some of it. But the Vikings will have the ball 2nd down inside the Next Tech Wireless red zone. Lowest rates, flexible plans, and exceptional customer service for everywhere you are. Say goodbye to being just a number. Say hello to something different at Next Tech Wireless.
A little confusion in the backfield that time with Court Shugren having recovered the fumble. Then he realized that they were running shotgun, and he was late getting out there, but not necessarily his fault. This time they'll go I formation, put Andrew Peters out wide to the far side behind Jake Lucas under center. It goes typically with that long play count. Here's Kennedy trying to get the left side or right side, and he's going to get a few yards down to near the 16-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 7 for Smoky Valley.
Yeah, Vikings were trying hard that time to get ahead of the chains again. That's the whole thing. A long play count, trying to get to draw them offside, trying to push that ball back down and make it more of a 2nd and 5 manageable instead of 2nd and 10. The Nickerson Panthers stayed home that time, didn't jump, and instead the Vikings only pick up about 2.5 on that play.
Well, they got a long 3rd down here. Obviously, they're in 4-down territory. I don't think we have a good enough kicker to think about kicking a field goal. Late substitution for Nickerson, but they finally get away. I formation for Lucas, and now Nickerson calls a late timeout. Timeout on the field. We'll step aside this time. 4:41 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Vikings still trail 7-6. Back right after this.
Not sure who our kicker would
be. Do you
be.
feel the need for seed? Grow stronger and prosper longer with Phelps Seed. They're your go-to source for premium quality Pioneer brand corn, soybean, milo, and sunflower seed, along with wheat, cover crop, and forage seeds. If you're in the need, trust in Phelps Seed. With you from the word go.
Give us a call at Hometown Outdoor Power in Salina, Minneapolis, and McPherson to get your mowers. Sign up for our winter service program. Don't forget to ask about the early sign-up promotion when you call.
This is a Rocking M broadcast of the Smoky Valley Vikings.
Back to Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field. Don't forget the tomorrow afternoon 2:00 kickoff. Bethany College on the road up at Kansas Wesleyan, a preseason number 1 pick in the conference, and they've been rolling over everybody. Bethany got their first win last week against St. Mary's, but we hope that they will be competitive. And, Coach said at Quarterback Club we're going to go up there with our guns blazing. We're not going to back down, but boy, Kansas Wesleyan's a great football team.
They really are. And, of course, we got the Elliott boys over there playing football for them as well. So some Smoky Valley ties at K-Dub, not the Bethany faithful loving that, but needless to say, you go where you go. And we also here in town tomorrow have varsity tennis over at the high school tennis courts, 9 a.m. So if you have a chance in the morning, go check them out. Chance of rain tomorrow. Hopefully they can get the meet in before any of that hits.
They're down and long for the Vikings now. They'll send Brewster Binkson wide to the near side. Tight end is Brant Hebel on the far side. Haven Lysell Stewart on the near side. I formation behind Jake Lucas. Toss, trying to get outside to Kennedy. He's going to cut it back up the middle. He's got some room. He gets a little bit of real estate down to near the 10-yard line. So he dodged and weaved in there and got a good pickup.
Again, Smoky Valley's been great tonight about being able to set themselves up with manageable fourth down plays. That time had a really long fourth and about 8.5. Looked like from here maybe he might have got to the 10, but it looks like they're going to put him out more at the 11. So it's going to make it about a 4th and 3 here, but the edge has been good to us. It'll be interesting to see if we decide to go up the gut. That's what we did the last time out of the bone. This time it seems like our outside edge has been pretty successful.
8 seconds on the play clock, rushing up to the line of scrimmage. Vikings go I formation. Flanker is Peters to the near side. Long play count. Here comes Wilson. He's going to not get it. Maybe it's Kennedy. And he's not going to get it. He maybe get a yard pickup on the play. So the Vikings, having such success on fourth down in the first half, are 0 for 2 now on fourth down in the third quarter.
Yeah, not sure what happened there. Xavier White, the 315-pound lineman there, looked like he came in untouched. I mean, he's the biggest, strongest guy they have on that line, and it didn't look like anybody got a hat on him or anything like that, and he was able to just slide right through there and blitz in and make that tackle right for no gain, basically.
So turn it over on downs inside right at the 10-yard line. Nickerson now has to be a little concerned with their ball handling ability. They get a little play and they get some real estate, gets first down yardage and more on the play. The carrier was Isley, and he tiptoed and got his way for first down yardage at the 20.
That's the first play in 3 possessions right now for Nickerson that they've actually kept the ball. They haven't had the ball hardly at all in this quarter because they've turned it over each of the times they've had the football. But this time, Isley brought it around the left-hand side. A couple of great juke moves. Actually made Andrew Peters miss just for a second there when it looked like he might have him. Raleigh Wilson finally takes him down, but not before he picks up a Nickerson first down.
Double flanker now. Isley in motion. Blast up the middle is going to get stopped maybe for 3 or 4 yard carry. Second down and 6, we'll call it, for Nickerson as they just pound that one right up the middle.
Yeah, good hard run up the middle again, just trying to mix it up a little bit. They've gone away from the toss look now since the last 2 were turnovers. Each of the last 2 plays right now have been direct handoffs around the edge, and this one right up the gut. Looked like number 16 that time was the carrier, D'Amato, and again picked up about 3.
Still 7-6 on the score. Late flag coming in. They're going to stop the play and call motion, I believe, on Nickerson again. So what was second down and 6 is going to turn into second down and 11, if I'm not mistaken. So second down and 11 now for Nickerson. 2:45 left to go in this third quarter. Smoky Valley has, they've tried to go for it twice on fourth down and turned it over on downs. And Nickerson has fumbled it twice to the Vikings. So
I like the aggressiveness of Smoky Valley.
Yeah,
I mean, you continue to put yourself in a 4th and 2, 4th and 3 kind of look. You take a lot of pride in what you're able to do, and you give that a shot.
So successful in the first half. There's another blast up the middle, and the Vikings have it snuffed out. It's going to go for no gain on the play. Well, maybe they're going to give him a little forward progress for a yard. It's going to be third down and 9.
Let him play for a little bit there. Looked like he was really stood up there for quite a while. The Viking defense really biting on that hard and taking away the middle, but he continued to churn those legs, continued to keep movement at least going forward, and didn't hear a whistle. Ends up picking up just a little bit, about a yard, but a ton of Vikings in there on the stop, and this will bring up third and long for Nickerson.
2 receivers near side, 1 to the far side. Garcia dropping back, quick slant out in the back, caught, trying to get it as Binkson. First down yardage and more No, maybe not. Right at first down yardage at the 30-yard line is number 4, Salazar. And it will be short of the first down yardage.
Yeah, Kennedy able to make it over there. Again, that kind of screen look. They were able to hit number 4, Salazar. And you're right, looked like maybe he was going to have a chance to get that first down. Looked like there was an opening. And he comes up about a yard shy. This is where they've been good with that little one right up the gut. Raleigh Wilson's right there to try to take that away. But I could easily see this being a right up the gut quarterback
sneak is what I'm thinking it might be. They're going to try to draw the Vikings, and they don't bite. So Nickerson not wanting to roll the dice like the Vikings do. They call a timeout on 4th down, and we'll step aside. 1:41 left to go in this third quarter. Still 7-6. Nickerson with the lead. Facing a 4th down and short. Back after this 30-second timeout.
Lowest rates, flexible plans, exceptional customer service, and coverage for everywhere you are. Say goodbye to being just a number. Say hello to something different at Next Tech Wireless.
Farmers State Bank of Lindsborg, located at 447 Harrison Street, is proud to support the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes. Good luck, Vikings, and good luck, Swedes. Member FDIC.
You're listening to Smoky Valley Vikings Athletics.
Back at Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field, as we were talking to Nickerson Panthers. When you're inside the 30-yard line, though, it's a little bit gut check time to go for it on 4th down. If you don't make it, you're setting yourself up to give up points right away.
Well, and you want to have the best play called. I do believe they had the sneak called that time. The Vikings were ready to bite. Raleigh Wilson was right there in that hole, and I think you want to make sure if you're going to go for it on your own 30, you better have the right play.
And they're going for it now. They line up with that double wing formation again. Garcia, the quarterback, and he's going to take it and get yardage enough for the first down. So they just put power against power, and they just have us outmanned pound for pound up there. And they just snuck it right up the middle for a 2-yard gain.
Well, you notice there they actually put more guys in the backfield. What they did was create a wedge. They got those 2 or 3 guys even closer in the backfield, and as soon as the snap came back, those 3 guys just helped push. And that's legal now to be able to do that, to push, and they were able to get him right across the line.
Double flanker, wide receiver, far side in motion is Isley. Now they're going to call that play dead. They must be jumping. Somebody's jumping in there because this is about the 5th or 6th motion penalty on the Nickerson Panthers. 74, they said, is the guilty party. He's a tackle on this side.
You know, if you just feel the momentum of the game, it feels like Smoky Valley would be ahead. It feels like we dominated the time of possession. Again, to this quarter, it seemed like constant turnovers on behalf of Nickerson, but yet we weren't able to convert there on 2 4th down plays. And again, a lot of penalties here on this drive keep pushing Nickerson back, and they keep trying to getting this first down each time. So, again, big time, I think, here for the Vikings on a 1st and 15 to get the stop here in 3 downs and force this punt.
Well, they really have tight gaps here now on this play. Right up the middle comes a counter, and there's somebody in there. Good.
That looked like Dax Hop in there first.
Good read of that counter play as they bring the wing guy from the far side over to the near side, and Dax was sitting there waiting for him and lost on the play of about a yard.
Coach of middle school football, I get the chance to be just angled away from the high school team, and I know one of the things Coach Lambert always mentions, and I get a chance to hear it in his direct voice, do your job, and that was a great opportunity there. Dax Hop stayed home, a little counterplay look, and he hit his gap hard, found the runner there, and made the play, and then a number of Vikings coming to back him up.
Is it 2nd down or 3rd down? And
should be 2nd down.
2 receivers near side. For Nickerson now, tossed to the near side, trying to get outside, and a little bit of room, but a great play. I think we're going to have a block in the back on Nickerson again. With Brewster Bingson again in position to make that tackle and got pushed out from behind. And a flag comes flying in on the play. A gain of about 6 or 7 on the play, but it was pretty obvious. Well, they're going to call it a hold, but it was pretty obvious that the flag came in there and one of our guys went going the other way.
One of the discussion points talking to the players and the coaches this week was not being sure what to expect from Nickerson, because watching them on film, you know, they put up over 400 yards last week at Hoisington, but one of the question marks was discipline. How disciplined of a team was Nickerson? And tonight, I think on this drive, we're seeing a lot of those penalties, blocks in the back, jumps on the line, and so it continues to move them backwards, exactly what we thought.
Will they get the play off in time? 10 seconds left on the play clock. They are going to snap it. It's going to be a toss, and it's on the ground again, but it bounces back up. But there to make the play is Brant Hebel, and it's a loss of about 5 or 6, and that will be the final play of the third quarter. So the Nickerson Panthers put it on the ground again. They recover the fumble, but they're facing a 4th down now and long, and we'll be back for the fourth quarter right after this.
Arn Reinert, CPA LLC, provides tax and accounting services in the Smoky Valley area and is a proud supporter of Smoky Valley High School and Bethany College activities. Located at 117 South Lincoln Street in Lindsborg. Arn Reinert, CPA.
This is a Smoky Valley Vikings broadcast.
Don't miss the Wheat State Scoreboard Show, brought to you locally by Remax Advantage Realtors tonight from 10 to 11 on Sports Radio 1150 KSAL. Get a recap of this game, scores from other area wraps, and from various broadcasters across the Sunflower State. That's the Wheat State Scoreboard Show, brought to you locally by Remax Advantage Realtors from 10 to 11 on Sports Radio 1150 KSAL.
Some close games out there still. Hoisington only up 18-13 on Larned right now. Haven up 14-13 on Hillsboro. Hillsboro 26-0 over. Heston 26-0 over Pratt. Those are the league scores we have right now.
Here it's a 1-point deficit. The Vikings defense is playing good. They're got Nickerson forced back in a third. I was wrong. I said fourth, but it's 3rd and 26. And they go in that same formation they've been in all night now. Flanker in motion to the side. Now quarterback's going to keep it. He's going to run into trouble, and it's going to be 4th down. It's going to be a loss of a yard. And it's going to be 4th down and long punting time. But with the wind is Nickerson.
Yeah, Dax Hopp took on his blocker really well and just stoned him right there on the spot. And the quarterback was trying to run a little option look, tried to go in, and Dax was able to take him down immediately. You're right, they do have the wind at their back. The first punt of his tonight was a little bit of a kind of a dying quail up there. The last one was a knuckleball coming right down the middle. We'll see what he brings this time.
He's standing inside the 5-yard line. A good snap. High kick. Peters is going to take it about the 48-yard line, trying to get outside. Good block by one of the Vikings. Peters still on his feet inside the 30-yard line. Nice block by
Grant Lysell-Alkire. Beautifully done from the senior. He steps in there, makes a good, clean contact block. So many times you come up there and you blindside block and you end up getting called for the penalty. Instead, he is right there, got his feet established, made a good hit. Grant is going to come off. Looks like maybe a wrist injury right here or something. It looks like he got something kind of stuck in there. But, man, what a block. And it's one of those you could almost see coming from a distance. I think I even heard the fans oohing and ahhing before he even made contact. But he did a beautiful job putting himself in position to make a block, freeing Andrew up and getting him all the way inside the 30.
Central Salina still over South 10-7 after 3. El Saline 27, Hutch 0 after 3. Here it's wishbone formation for the Vikings inside the 30-yard line of Nickerson. And there's a flag on the Vikings. Going to have motion in the backfield on Smoky Valley. Somebody evidently was leaning a little bit before the snap.
And Nickerson's starting to jab up there at the line of scrimmage a little bit, trying to mix up the count a little bit for the Vikings. Wasn't any of the linemen that moved. Looked like it came out of the backfield that time, but that will cause the Vikings to start about 5 yards back. They've spent a lot of their time this half in the Nickerson end of the field, but just haven't been able to convert on the big play.
11-11 left to go in the fourth quarter. In our family, we call that Rory time. Rory Binkson, my grandson, was born 11-11-11. So every time I see the clock at 11-11, it's Rory time. So it's Viking time. Let's go. Let's put a score on the board here. Smoky Valley, 1st and 15 on this new possession for Smoky Valley. Lucas turns and hands it out. No, he's going to roll out the back. He's got Lysell deep, Binkson short, and Binkson wraps it up and gets inside the 30-yard line. But Salazar really wrapped him up quickly.
Yeah, that's a little boot option out of one of the fakes there. So you fake that on that left side of the line, roll back to the right. You got a couple of receivers on levels over here. And you mentioned Lysell Stewart up there just about the 20-yard line on the deeper level. And then Brewster Bankston on the short level. There was a player in between the two of them. And Lucas decides to go with the short one, gets most of the yards back from the penalty, 2nd and 11.
2nd and 11, we'll call it I formation this time with the receiver and a flanker trying to pitch it to the far side. Kennedy trying to get outside, still churning, and he'll get down to about the 26-yard line where it'll be 3rd and about 7.
Impressed with the strength of this Nickerson football team. We talked about not being quite sure what they were going to bring to the table tonight. I think they've been a very admirable foe in the fact that they've got some nice, good, strong players up front, and they're continuing to stand up that Viking front 7 right now because of the fact that we've been in the bone the last few times, and their linebackers have been very stout coming up to make plays.
One of the linebackers just went out, number 45, with a possible injury, but number 44, Smith, has been doing a yeoman's job in there. 3rd down and 7 for the Vikings. Here comes the push, trying to get up there, but they're going to create a pile and get maybe to the 24-yard line, but it's going to be 4th down and a long 5, closer to 6 yards.
Yeah, you saw that time, 2 of the Viking interior linemen there were both taken down right at the point of contact. Almost a submarine action there on behalf of Nickerson. Once you get those 2 linemen down, then you're 2-man shy in your blocking patterns, and they were able to be right there and stuff that play. And the Vikings on a little bit longer 4th down play now, looking at 4th and about 5.5. We haven't had much success here in the second half, so we'll have to make a play.
3 receivers to the near side for the Vikings. Shotgun formation for Lucas. Probably going to roll right, and he does. He tucks the ball and runs, and he's got first down yardage and more. It's Peters, and he's going to take it all the way for the touchdown. A counter look, and they had him kind of corralled at the 25-yard line, but he took it all the way for a 25-yard touchdown. Vikings lead it 12-7.
Another beautiful setup play. You notice the positioning on that play matched identically to the pass we made to Bankston to score the first touchdown from the 10. This time we put trips right exactly the same way. Instead of any pass play, the 3 outside guys actually started blocking right away, and immediately we switched it up, ended up having Peters underneath center, or actually in the shotgun, started to go to the right, and actually read the cutback, was able to go back, realized there was nobody to the left side, and he takes it all the way in for the Vikings score. 12-7 Vikings.
2-point conversion out of the wishbone formation for Smoky Valley. And there's a penalty flag coming out again. Delay of game that time. We didn't get the ball snapped in time. So delay of game. Jake has been taking a long time, and I think he's trying to do that cadence thing, trying to draw him off, but that time it cost us 5 yards because it's going to be extra point try now from the 8-yard line.
I haven't paid attention. Is it 40 seconds after a score, or is it the 25 seconds?
25.
So, see, that kind of changes that a little bit. I know
but you still got a big clock you're looking at.
You do, but at the same time, I mean, you kind of get that flow of the game going, and now you're going up there with a little less time on the clock.
2 receivers to the far side, Lucas and Kennedy, and Raleigh Wilson beside each other in shotgun formation. Lucas rolling, still rolling, going to throw a bullet and over the head of the intended receiver, Brant Hebel. And the Vikings' 2-point conversion fails. But our score with 8:57 left to go in the 4th quarter, Vikings up now 12-7 back after this 30-second time. For the first time tonight with 8:57 left to go, and there's a lot of football left to play.
Oh, there is, and we were just talking about the fact that it felt like Smoky had dominated this half the way they've been playing, and all of a sudden we actually are on the board that way as well. Nickerson's had some good opportunities, and if we remember right before the half, going in this same direction, traveling from south to north, they were able to really mount a pretty good drive right before half. So the Viking defense is quick drive. If not for a few penalties, they probably get points on that drive. So Smoky Valley is really going to have to stiffen here, make plays, try to make this a 3-and-out, get the ball back, take some time off the clock.
Kennedy will put the ball in play. High kick going to come up to one of the up guys at the 20, and he drops the ball. Picks it up at the 25, trying to get outside far side. Does a little success and gets up to the 35-yard line. They've just been having better fingers back there in the backfield, and that was one Gomez, I think, that dropped that one.
Yeah, kind of surprising. It looked like it was a pretty well-kicked ball right up there in the air. He just couldn't quite handle it, and then he's able to go all the way from left to right, actually end up able to pick up about 10 or 11 yards after the muff and put them in a position of 1st and 10 from the 36.
36, I wrote down 31. 36-yard line is where they start. Wide receiver each way. Dropping back to pass. Garcia has it caught. Brant Hebel wrapping up the receiver with the ball, but he gets away, and he's across midfield and down to the 35 or 33-yard line. Brant Hebel had him wrapped up for about a 10-yard gain, but he just broke that tackle. He kept his legs churning and got it all the way down to the 31-yard line.
I'll tell you, Salazar, 6 foot 160. He's a big, strong-looking kid, and he was able to break that initial tackle by Hebel and then get up the field. And if not for Trey Kennedy there, that might have been a touchdown. Instead, it's a 32-yard pass reception. Again, Nickerson on the move quickly.
2 receivers far side, 1 to the near side. They're going to throw it in the air again. Caught in, again goes in Salazar. He's got first down yardage and a little bit more. He's going to be run out of bounds finally by Wilson and Kennedy, but not before he gets inside the Next Tech Wireless red zone. Lowest rates, flexible plans, exceptional customer service for everywhere you are. Say goodbye to just being a number and say hello to something different at Next Tech Wireless for Nickerson. The ball just inside the 20-yard line.
Yeah, a lot of timing patterns. There are a couple of quick outs, so the ball's in the air before he makes the cut. And that one there, beautifully positioned, hit him right in the numbers. He was able to make a little juke move, get by Bingston, and pick up a couple extra yards.
Flanker in motion to the far side. A counter up the middle again. Good defense and runs out of the tackle of Raleigh Wilson, but there to take him down before he gets much gain was Andrew Peters.
Yeah, he was able to escape that first one, but Wilson able to slow him up in the corner and safety there. I think Peters coming up, and then I think Brant Hebel was able to get in there and help make the stop. Grant Lysell-Alkire came out previously on a play before. We'll see if he is able to get back into the game here.
He's back.
He's still on the sideline over here.
No, he's not. He's
number 55.
Oh, I'm thinking Haven. My bad. 2 receivers far side for Nickerson, 1 to the near side. Quarterback dropping back to pass, looking far side, and it's going to be tipped at the line of scrimmage by the Vikings.
Looked like that was knocked down by Justin Holt, the freshman in there making a play. And Justin's kind of an interesting player. He's just a guy, we talked about him last week or the week before, got in the game and just an energy guy. Gets out, makes plays. He's a good athlete.
Good size kid.
Yeah, he is. Got his hand up, was able, force the guy back on the line and really got some penetration there. Got the big mitt up and knocked that ball away and makes it a 3rd and long here.
3rd and 9, 2 receivers far side, 1 to the near side. Garcia under center, drops back. Now he's going to tuck it and run himself. He's got first down yardage right up the middle, touchdown.
Yeah, nobody there on the quarterback draw.
Delayed draw.
Yeah, it was beautiful play design there on behalf of Nickerson. And Garcia just takes 1 step back. Next thing you know, he's full bore forward. A couple of the interior linemen get a touch on him, but they're not able to get him down. And there was no safety home for the Vikings. They spread the field beautifully, and that will put Nickerson up 13-12 with 7:17 left here in the 4th quarter.
And they'll bring the kicker on again, I guess. We'll see what they do. They probably will go for 2 here to get
you go for 2.
3-point spread. Wide receiver each way, but tight. Double flanker. Now in motion is the flanker. It's a reverse. Salazar, and he's going to get in easily on the reverse. 2-point conversion is good, and our score was 7:17 left to go. Nickerson now 15, Smoky Valley 12 back right after this.
Farley's Bar and Grill in downtown Lindsborg is your game day headquarters. Come try their Monte Crisco or other specialty menu items. Farley's Bar and Grill, located at 101 North Main Street in Lindsborg, proudly supporting the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by the Bank of Tesket. Generations of confidence, relationships for life. With locations in Lincoln, Salina, Tesket, and Lindsborg. The Bank of Tesket. Member FDIC.
We're the Bank of Tesket.
This is a Rockingham broadcast of the Smoky Valley Vikings.
Brothers Field, the Vikings defense, well, we were counting on them to get a 3-and-out. And they put together a how many yard play and how many plays?
It was a quick drive again, right? I mean, it's one of those where we just said they only took about 1 minute and 40 seconds off the clock to score. How many?
It was a 64-yard drive.
64-yard drive, and I think it was only about 6 plays or so once you figured everything in there. But it was quick. I think that's an advantage for Smoky Valley that it was a quick drive because we've been pretty methodical in all of our drives. Easily could put the ball up the field here in 7 minutes and 17 seconds and put it in the end zone and maybe take the entire rest of the quarter off to do it. But just going to have to make plays, going to have to be smart. Going to have to make sure we control the football.
Have to keep our hands on the football after Nickerson has had a couple of times they've dropped the ball and lost it, but got it back. So Gomez is stepping off his steps, and we'll see where he does it with the kickoff. High end over end kick Peters is going to have to go back. He drops the ball at the 10-yard line. Now they run together, and Peters is going to keep it and trying to get outside far side, but he's going to be swallowed up. And the Viking return game is not doing very good this year yet. They've had some issues back there in the back. We've had a couple of fumbles, and now they run into each other. It really slows them down. So they got a long way to go now. 90 yards for Pay Dirt.
Yeah, a couple of very strong, quick players back there, and I think you see that once that ball gets muffed a little bit, our exchanges and our fakes haven't looked as quite as eloquent as I think we want them to look. And that was another good example of that. He caught it about the 10 by the time he picked it up, and we're starting at the 10.
First and 10, Smoky Valley. They'll go wishbone form. Oh, is it I formation? Behind Jake Toss trying to get to the near side. Kennedy trying to get outside. He's got a little bit of room, and he'll get a yard, maybe is all. After all that real estate from the far hash to get over to the near side, it took a lot of run to get 1 yard.
Yeah, Nickerson really pinning their ears back right now and really just kind of flying to the football, and they did a great job, again, getting in front of those blockers and trying to go there, and Kennedy had to make a couple of hard cuts just to be able to pick up that yard and a half there.
So 2nd down and 9 for the Vikings, a long 8, short 9. Trying to come up the middle is Raleigh Wilson. He's going to power his way across the 15. So it's going to be 3rd down and 5 for Smoky Valley.
Yeah, good hard running for Raleigh across the left-hand side there. Is able to get a few yards, but then really got stood up and pushed back there. Didn't really get quite the forward lean he was hoping for. They are going to give him position just across the 15. That's going to make it 3rd and about 4.5.
3rd and 4 here for the Vikings. A crucial 3rd down. You never know if they're in 4-down position or not, but with 6 minutes left, you don't want to give Nickerson back the ball. So more than likely, going to be in 4-down territory no matter where you're at. They break the huddle with just 8 seconds on the play clock. They're going to have to hurry. Jake won't be able to take a long play count. He does get it off in time, tries to keep it in, throwing the ball downfield. He's got Brant Hebel, and he's got the catch made in around the 40-yard line and up to the 45.
Yeah, beautiful catch by Brant Hebel. He actually got all turned around there. Got turned around a couple of different ways. Finally looks at the ball and catches it on the inside shoulder. Brant had a great catch, if you remember correctly, against Larned that was called back. This one here, he makes the grab, and it becomes a 30-yard gain for the Vikings up to the 45-yard line. Offense hadn't moved real well in those first 2 plays. There he was making the catch.
Salazar was going to throw him down hard and probably get a penalty, but his teammate came over there and kind of pushed him forward to get 3 more yards on the carry. 1st down and 10, Smoky Valley. Here comes Sugarin trying to get outside. He's got the 50. He's in Nickerson territory all the way down to the 45-yard line near 1st down yardage.
A lot of excitement on the Viking sideline watching them just pull people. And again, linemen in there helping. Big number 74 for Smoky Valley. That's Skylar Hopkins over there helping to push the pile. Haven Lysell Stewart pushing the pile. And the Vikings are going to have another 1st down. Again, if you're just sitting around listening, remember live.smokeyvalley.org. You can watch this ending. Got 104 people on right now watching, thanks to Mike Rose.
Wishbone formation for Smoky Valley. That's back-to-back 1st downs, and now timeout Nickerson. They want to take a little of this momentum away. We'll keep it right here this time. Thanking again our sponsors, Midway Motors, Harry Malary, Scott's, Gower Welding, C&L Heating and Cooling, Old Stuga, Gallant Tire and Auto, Farmer State Bank, Lindsborg Family Dental Care, Farm Bureau, Yoder Lawn and Tree Care, Arn Reinert CPA, Call Mari, Call It Sold in Real Estate, Dr. Darrell Loader, Art Shirt, People's Bank and Trust, Christian's Funeral Home, Smoky Valley Booster Club, Bank of Tescott, and Viking Auto.
I want to remind you about the 3rd annual Smoky Valley High School Music Department Mattress Fundraiser. This has been a great fundraiser and a great opportunity for the community to come out. That's Saturday, September 28th, so not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow. It'll be from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Smoky Valley High School. They have all sizes of beds available, firm, pillow top, orthopedic, latex and gel memory foam sets. All mattresses are brand new. Every purchase benefits the music department at Smoky Valley High School. So if you have a chance, get out there. Again, that's next Saturday, September 28th, from 10 to 5 at Smoky Valley High School.
Don't forget, less than a month away is Svensk Hillningsfest, October 17th, 18th, and 19th. Still tickets available for Smorgasbord, for the big parade, for Bethany Homecoming. Lots of things going on that weekend. Svensk Hillningsfest 2019. 1st and 10, Smoky Valley. I formation behind Lucas. Here comes Wilson powering his way up the middle. He'll get close to the 40-yard line. He'll pick up about 4, almost 5 yards.
Again, is this that moment where Smoky Valley starts wearing down the interior line of Nickerson? We talked about it all night. Both teams are very good at this. It's just that Smoky Valley has seemed to have the larger time of possession tonight, and they seem to really be getting a strong push here on this drive.
I formation this time. Flanker to the side is Court Shugan. Raleigh Wilson again blasting his way for 2, maybe 3 yards up the middle. He'll get across the 40 and down to about the 38-yard line, where it's going to be 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, and they're not easy yards either. We're not just saying he's blowing that up and getting wherever he wants to go. It is a man's game in there right now.
Mano a mano.
It is, and it is a lot of contact, a lot of strength from both sides.
The power I formation comes to this side this time with Brant Hebel, Kennedy, and Wilson behind Lucas. Here comes Kennedy. He's got first down yardage and more, all the way down to the 30. No, that wasn't him going to the 30. He got stopped about the 32. Somebody went flashing up there. That was Brant Hebel, and Raleigh Wilson went flashing up to about the 30-yard line.
Yeah, just trying to maintain their blocks and get through, but a nice run by Kennedy here on the right side. And again, the Vikings continue to move the chains. Another first down here on this drive, 32-yard line, 3:53 left. Vikings trail 15-12.
Flanker again, Shugan on this side. I formation behind Lucas. Double tight end there, a little bit of mix-up. And I thought there was going to be a flag coming down, but no flag.
I think there was movement early, but I think it was the center. I think that was the first one that shot out of there. I think everybody else was a half second late.
And, yeah, you're talking about somebody slow to get up. That's their linebacker, number 45. He went out earlier for a couple of plays, but it is wearing and tearing on that interior 5 or 6 linemen and defensive linemen on both teams and linebackers.
Well, we kept calling number 44's name earlier, and I haven't seen him in as many tackles. Still been in, but you're right, 45 went out for a bit. Now he's slow to get up, and 2nd and 10 for the Vikings.
Bankston wide to the far side. Peters in motion now to the far side, looking down the field for Lysell, and has him. No, it said incomplete. Gets away at the last second. It wasn't going to be a big gain on the play anyway. Now it's going to be 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, just trying to make that a little bit more manageable, take a few yards up. I tell you, number 4 that time, who has been making plays tonight for Nickerson on the offensive end, that was Salazar. He laid in wait there for just a little bit. I think if that's on the wide side of the field, he might have a chance to pick that just because he had more real estate. But on the short side, he was able to bite hard enough to be able to get there right as the ball was making contact with Haven's hand, and he was able to knock it free, and that'll make 3rd and long, 3rd and 10 for Smoky Valley.
3 receivers to the far side for Lucas. 3rd and long. Lucas rolling far side, going to throw it, and he's going to bounce it to Brewster Bankston. Lucas has thrown the ball so well tonight. That's the first time that he's had one of those balls that he had several of last week. But now the Vikings are really facing a crucial fourth down with 2:54 left. Fourth down and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Yeah, and we talk a lot of times when you get to plays like this, what's in the bag of tricks. But for Smoky Valley, it's not so much in the bag of tricks as much as how can you create some misdirection. How can you get a guy lost somewhere? They are so good at that. Even on that possession, Brewster Bankston didn't have anybody within 3 to 4 yards of him. It would have been a nice gain and would have made it a short fourth down. So we'll see again, trips left.
10 seconds left on the play clock. Big fourth down. Lucas still rolling. Now he's going to step up and throw, and it's incomplete. Intended receiver, I believe, was Kennedy. Deep receiver was Peters, and it kind of lands in between them. And player down for the Vikings.
Jake was hit right as he threw the football, ends up going down. Looks like maybe a little something with the leg, just contact there. But they're going to have somebody come out and make sure he's okay. But he is up and moving. Could be something where he might have just had the wind knocked out of him. He was fully extended when he made that throw and got belted right there in the gut right as he made the pass. I tell you, that was big number 44 was chasing. I couldn't tell for sure what the number was that got him, but he got pretty good contact on him.
Close to a late hit, but he hit him kind of at the same time he released the ball, so no late hit at all.
Part of that difficulty is we had him rolling out to his left, and he has to throw back across his body, so he has to get that stop and get squared up. That gave the defense just a half second to be of time to be able to get caught back up on him full speed and make pretty good contact there. So the Vikings need to get a 3 and out here. We do have 2 timeouts left. Nickerson out.
On the rollout, quarterback keeper going to turn it back up the middle. He's going to get a couple of yards, maybe 3. Second down and 7, we'll call it. But now the Vikings with just 2 timeouts left are going to have to manage their timeouts, and they really need to get a 3 and out. So all the fourth down chances they had in the first quarter to make it work, they don't get any fourth downs to go here in the second half. And now Nickerson has a chance to run the ball out. Now with this 40-second clock, they have a long time between each play.
Amazing how long it feels right now when you're Smoky Valley and you're needing to get that football back. And I looked up, it's still 28 seconds. They're still at 9 right now.
So they're going to take the full amount allotted time. Garcia under center going to just sneak it himself, and he's going to get first down yardage. Just what the Vikings can't do is allow a first down, and he just sneaks it himself forward for the first down. It will stop the clock to move the chains. And he'll wind the clock as soon as it's ready. And that will wind it with 28 seconds on the play clock, so it'll run it down under a minute and a half here before they even need to snap the ball. The Vikings really going to pressure the defense now. They got to get a stop here and call a timeout.
Really got to get the ball out.
Yeah.
I mean, with 2 timeouts in the 40-second clock, you're going to be able to stop it twice, but you're going to really need to force a turnover here.
And imagine the quarterback will keep it on the sneak again. Man in motion to the side. Now he's going to hand it off to the big Gomez, and he's going to get first down yardage across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. So they get another first down to stop the clock again. But they'll reset and get a first down, and the Vikings with only 2 timeouts are not going to be able to get the ball back. 28 seconds now on the play clock, so that'll make it tougher yet. The Vikings unable to convert on that fourth down, unable to convert on any fourth downs here in the second half is a big story in this game. Double flanker, quarterback looking back. He's got a play clock at his end too, but he chooses to look back at the one behind him. Garcia waiting, managing that clock well. Going to hand it to Gomez again. He's going to get stopped this time. And like you say, they're trying to pull the ball out. Now the Vikings are going to have to use their timeout. They're only going to have 10 seconds to run the next play if they don't use a timeout. Only 2 left, but
yeah, but if you get it after the next 2, okay, you're going to have to hope that maybe you get the ball back with a few seconds or force them to punt or do something. Otherwise, they're just going to run it out anyway.
Garcia will wait for the clock to go down to single digits. Just 20 seconds left now in the ball game. Well, they are managing the game clock well, Nickerson. And he'll take a knee. And the Vikings are not going to call a timeout. That's going to be it. Nickerson upsets the Vikings 15-12. We'll be back to wrap this one up for you after this 2-minute timeout.
The Quarterback Club of Lindsborg is proud to support athletics in the Smoky Valley. Join us each Tuesday at 7 a.m. in the Bethany College cafeteria to hear from all the Vikings and Swedes sports coaches.
Located at 216 North Harrison Street, proudly supporting the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes. Game day starts and finishes at Farley's Bar and Grill in downtown Lindsborg. Located at 101 North Main, this upscale one-of-a-kind establishment offers a wide variety of food and drink specials. Try their seasonal items or their world-famous Monte Cristo. Then wash it down with an ice-cold beer or tall glass of wine. Farley's Bar and Grill at the corner of Lincoln and Main in downtown Lindsborg. Farley's, your game day headquarters for the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes.
People's Bank and Trust takes pride in its heritage of service to the customer and features 12 locations in central Kansas. People's Bank and Trust, a proud supporter of Smoky Valley and Bethany College. Member FDIC.
Lindsborg Community Hospital and Family Healthcare Clinic, supporting concussion safety and impact testing for all athletes who call the Smoky Valley home.
People's Bank and Trust is proud to support the Lindsborg community and the athletes at Smoky Valley High School and Bethany College. I'm Ryan Beedard, branch manager at the Lindsborg location for People's Bank and Trust, a proud native of Lindsborg, and I'm ready to be your banker. People's Bank and Trust, meeting the needs of our community and always improving the way we do business. Located at 201 South Main in Lindsborg, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Go Vikes and go Swedes.
This is the Bank of Teskett postgame show. Coming up, player of the game, scores from around the area, final stats, and an interview with the coach. This is Smoky Valley Vikings football on 95.5 The Rock.
And welcome back to Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field here on the campus of Bethany College. This is the Bank of Teskett postgame show. Generations of confidence, relationships for life. Member FDIC. Ask about their new Casasa checking account in Lindsborg, Salina, Lincoln, and Teskett. And joining us now, Coach James Henderson of the Vikings. And wow, it was a heartbreak of a game, ready to score right before in the second quarter, and we fumbled the ball away. We give up a 98-yard drive. That kind of got the momentum on their side, and although we got the lead late, they just kind of put it to us a little bit.
Oh, well, we've won a lot of these games. I guess it was our turn to lose one finally, but our kids played really hard.
Absolutely.
We fought really hard against an opponent that, size-wise, just,
dominated. They're bigger than us at almost every spot.
Yeah, they were huge, and our kids fought and gave themselves a chance to win the game, but didn't take advantage of some opportunities that we could have taken advantage of. I mean, we certainly had our chances, and we had a chance to win the game at the end. And as a coach, that's what you're always working and hoping, is that you have a chance to win at the end.
Yeah, and then they got the ball back and managed the clock well and run the clock out with that new 40-second clock. It runs more time off than you're used to, but the effort was outstanding. I don't know if we had a 100-yard rusher finally, but we really pounded it on the game, got a few pass plays to work successful, and showed that we're capable of still playing some pretty good football.
Oh, yeah, and our kids fought to get the ball back down the field here until that last drive bogged down. And, they made some plays on the last time they had the ball, and that came down to, we'll go back and watch the film, and it'll be like any football game. There's 6 plays that make a difference, and we'll see which 6 of those were. So, but I feel bad for our kids. I'm proud of their effort. Certainly fought hard enough to have won the game. So.
Oh, absolutely. Our effort outstanding, and we looked like we were wearing them down. Their 2 middle linebackers who made a lot of tackles were getting worn down by our interior offensive line, doing a great job. But you don't get any time to rest because we got a really tough opponent next on the road at Heston.
Yeah, we just we've got to work to get better. That's what we've been focusing on, and that's what we'll continue to focus on. Heston's probably, Heston is a really good football team. That's neither here nor there for us right now. We got to focus on the Vikings and the Vikings getting better. at some basic fundamental things and some execution things, and then we'll just go down to Heston and play better football than we did this Friday night and see what happens.
Well, you do. You have to regroup, and it's a resilient group. They're getting their first chance on Friday night to be an outstanding team, and they haven't gelled yet. But every week of practice will get a little bit better. And conditioning-wise, I just think our kids are it was a little cooler tonight, but boy, Vikings have played outstanding and played hard.
Oh yeah, we have really emphasized the conditioning, and that's a factor that we have to make sure that's one of the advantages we have on a Friday night. And our kids have really bought into that, and they have worked really hard at the conditioning side of it. And on these last two games, for sure, we were the team that was in much better shape. So.
And it pays dividends down the road, but it wasn't paying a dividend tonight. Any final thoughts on the game?
Well, number one of those things had to do with the condition. They had a lot more depth than we did, and they played a lot more kids. And we had a freshman in there playing defensive tackle for us,
and we mentioned his name a few times. He came up with some big plays,
and he even had to go in the game. And when Grant got hurt, dinged up a little bit there, and play guard. So. Just the fact that he was in there and didn't hurt us,
Absolutely.
is big. We're just going to have to coach these guys up and get them better, and we're just going to have to keep fighting the fight, and we will. Coach told me the other day we're going to coach you till we die. So, I know, knock on wood, that doesn't happen, but that's what we're going to do with these kids because we love them, we care about them. We're going to coach them till we die or till the season's over, and hopefully, we'll just see what happens down the road. We're going to get better and better, and we'll catch fire here eventually, hopefully.
Yeah, everything will click a little better on another given night. The only injury we saw was Brandon Malm. Anybody else that you know of that got dinged up any tonight?
No, we'll have to see. Jake took a shot there at the end. I think he's okay, but we'll have to take a look.
Well, again, we appreciate you coming down and sharing your thoughts with us. The Vikings lose it tonight, but we'll be back on the air next Friday at Heston.
All right, thank you.
James Henderson of the Vikings, and the Vikings fall tonight to the Nickerson Panthers by the score of 15-12, and we got some other scores. What do you want to tackle first?
I think we'll jump into stats. We'll let Jason take a run here and get through with those. Definitely one of those interesting games. We mentioned the Vikings looked like they were in charge there for some time, but couldn't be on charge of the scoreboard, and then a quick drive by Nickerson really changed the outcome of this game. Jason, what do you got?
Nickerson, total offense, 39 plays for 253 yards, while Smoky Valley, 22 more plays, 61 plays total for 286 yards. 70 yards passing for Nickerson to 62 for Smoky Valley. 183 rushing yards for Nickerson compared to 224 for Smoky Valley. Penalties, 12 penalties on Nickerson to 5 for Smoky Valley. Third down conversions, Nickerson 3 for 8 to Smoky Valley's 5 for 16. And fourth down conversions, Nickerson 1 for 1 to Smoky Valley's 6 for 9. As far as Nickerson individually, Trey Garcia 5 for 8 passing, 70 yards. Rushing, Gomez 8 carries for 94 yards and a touchdown. Trey Garcia 15 carries for 42 yards and a touchdown. Bryce Isley 6 carries for 39 yards, and D'Amato 2 carries for 8 yards. Receiving, Salazar 4 catches for 59 yards, and D'Amato 1 catch for 11 yards. Leading the way on the defense, the guy's name we called all night, Tanner Smith, 9.5 tackles, and Alexander Yacht, 6.5 tackles. Bryce Isley with 6. Individually for Smoky Valley, Jake Lucas 4 for 10 passing, 62 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Rushing, Trey Kennedy falls just a couple yards short of 100 tonight, 18 carries for 98 yards. Court Shugren, 14 carries for 59 yards. Raleigh Wilson, 14 carries for 47 yards. Andrew Peters, 4 carries for 26 yards and a touchdown. Receiving for Smoky Valley, Brant Hebel, 1 catch for 30 yards. Haven Lysell Stewart, 1 catch for 18 yards. Brewster Bankston, 2 catches for 14 yards and a touchdown. Leading the way defensively, Trey Kennedy, 6.5 tackles. Haven Lysell Stewart, 6 tackles. Raleigh Wilson, 6 tackles. Andrew Peters, Brewster Bingston with 3 tackles, Tanner Luddig with 2 tackles, and Court Shugren, Dax Hop, 1.5 tackles.
It is time now for the Next Tech Wireless Player of the Game. Lowest rates, flexible plans, exceptional customer service for everywhere you are. Say goodbye to being just a number. Say hello to something different at Next Tech Wireless. I'll tell you, as the game flow was going on, I would have almost said Brant Hebel there when he made the catch, just because it seemed like the momentum swung right there. When he made that catch, we had 2 plays in a row where we didn't move the ball very well at all, and then Brant makes a great catch, and we move it on the very next 2 or 3 plays and look like we're going to have some momentum. Unfortunately, it didn't turn out that way, but I think there's a number of admirable nights tonight. I thought Haven Lysell had some great tackles early in the game. I know he was our tackle leader at the half. But, Trey Kennedy, 10 carries, 98 yards, and he was the leading tackler, I think Jason said, with 6.5 tackles on the night. So my vote right here probably goes to Trey Kennedy, just because the closest we've had to a 100-yard rusher. Although, again, let's point out that I thought Court Shugren ran the ball extremely well tonight, and Raleigh Wilson, as well as Andrew, who had leader rushing-wise for the Vikings tonight.
I have no problem with that. He well deserves it after the injury late in the game last week. He could have missed the game, but he toughed it out and ended up, medically being okay to play, and he played an outstanding game and wish he would have made it to that 100-yard mark, but he didn't. But the Vikings fall it tonight in the final score of 15-12, and time now to look at some scores. We'll have the Wheat State scoreboard show later on, but for the first time since 2007, Chapman beats Abilene 36-21, and back in 2007 was the last time that they have defeated them. Final, Salina Central 17, Salina South 7. Our game 15-12 in favor of Nickerson. Elsaline 34, shutting out Hutch Trinity 0, and Beloit Minneapolis 20-6 after 3. We don't have a final on that one yet. Have you got some other league scores?
I do across the league. Haven was up last I knew, fourth quarter, 28-20 on Hillsboro. Heston was up 26-0 on Pratt. Hoisington, a tight one with Larned, 26-19 was the last score we had there, and I don't believe that was a final yet. Still the same score there as I look it up here on the computer. Lyons falls to Halstead 58-8. Some other area scores: McPherson all over El Dorado 55-16. Marion 22, Douglas 0. That's a final. Derby 63, Newton 7. That's also a final. Sedgwick 52 over Sterling 13. Canton Galva 48-0. That's a final over Center. Northwest defeats Great Bend 31-0. You mentioned the El Saline score. Central was up 17-7 on South. I think we might have said that's a final now. Little River 51, Bennington 6, and Inman 15, Remington 7.
A lot of scores and a lot of football, but it didn't go the Vikings' way tonight. Again, that fumble, probably the biggest thing that happened, and when the Vikings facing it first and goal and the pivotal thing, and then they give up a 98-yard drive. That was kind of a lot of momentum swings in the game tonight.
Really were, and that was a big one right there. You're getting ready to punch it in. You're feeling pretty good about what we've been able to do. I think that was our second drive, wasn't it, Jason? I think our first one was 11 plays, 60-something yards, or 6 minutes, and then that one we were able to get right to the 2-yard line, and then lo and behold, they swing the field, go back and score. Then we swing the field and come back and score, and a lot of excitement in Smoky Valley football this year. There's so many plays that really changed the outcome of the game, and they a number of them have seemed to be big plays against us, and then the second half opens and Nickerson tosses us 2 freebies by fumbling each of their first 2 possessions, and we're not able to capitalize on it. And when we get, I think Coach Henderson brought that up, a lot of missed opportunities where we could have maybe had a chance to finish this game off. Not necessarily on the last drive. I mean, that's an option, but it's all the plays that happen. And he mentioned maybe 6 or 7 plays that might have changed the outcome of this game.
Yeah, it comes down to the nitty-gritty, and you can't do it. And when you have 61 plays compared to 39, you'd think you could end up with the most points on the scoreboard too, but it hasn't worked out that way yet this year. Every game we've had more plays than our opponent, but we're now 1-2 on the year.
Hats off to Nickerson, though. They were on the field for 61 defensive plays and made some very strong plays. So I was really impressed with what they did tonight.
Yeah, no question about it. Well, that's the final score tonight, and that's a wrap-up of our game. Again, be sure to listen to the Wheat State Scoreboard Show, brought to you locally by Remax Advantage Realtors, tonight from 10 to 11 on Sports Radio 1150 KSAL. Get a recap of this game, scores from other area, and other wraps from various broadcasters across the Sunflower State. That's the Wheat State Scoreboard, brought to you by locally Remax Advantage Realtors from 10 to 11 on Sports Radio 1150 KSAL. Don't forget Bethany tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock. The high school has a tennis match tomorrow at home here out by the high school on those nice tennis courts, and with plenty of action next week with volleyball. The Bethany played volleyball tonight. I never did see if they won or not. That's their first conference matchup tonight, so they're off to a great start. Our Smoky Valley girls are off to a great start in volleyball. So a lot of good sports, successful sports around, but tonight wasn't success for the Vikings.
No, but like Coach Henderson mentioned, I thought we competed. I thought we battled. I thought we played hard, and we've made the comment now for 3 games. This is what Smoky Valley football is going to look like. It's going to be hard-nosed. It's going to be battling, and it's going to be every play seems to make a difference when you come down to the end. Yeah. And tonight it didn't bounce our way. He said it might have been our turn to lose one of these. But I think our kids are going to learn from it. They're going to bounce back. Tough game next week at Heston. Going to have to show up. Going to have to bring our A game.
Have to bring the A game for sure. For Jared back at the station, for Jason, for Doug, this is Don wishing everybody a very pleasant good night. We'll talk to you next Friday from Heston. Take care, everyone. Good night.